and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra-low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000, mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Aaron Walker here from Naples Nissan with some good news from the factory. We've just been authorized to add all brands to the list of vehicles eligible for our trade-in offer. Yep, literally all brands qualify now. So if your 9-year-old Beamer just hit 100,000 miles, don't cry. Stop paying for expensive repairs and premium gas for that old gas-guzzling luxury brand you're driving. As long as it's a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, bring it to Naples Nissan to get the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new, fuel-efficient Nissan today. Whatever your trade-in was worth when it was brand new, even if you didn't buy it new, regardless of where you bought it from, and regardless of what brand it is, that's what we'll give you for it. Get full details at naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Multiple sclerosis destroys connection, so it's only fitting that connection would be its greatest enemy. Give what you know at msconnection.org. MS kills connection. Connection kills MS.
Lead, inspire, change the world again. Join thousands and find which volunteer opportunity is best for you. Call 1-800-424-8867 today or visit www.getinvolved.gov. This message is brought to you by the Corporation for National and Community Service and this station.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
All for one and one for all. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. The Biden administration has come out in support of suspending patents on coronavirus vaccines.
The World Trade Organization is considering issuing a temporary waiver for intellectual property protections for COVID-19 vaccines. So far, more than 100 countries have come out in support of the measure.
Fox's Trace Gallagher also with new predictions about the pandemic.
U.S. health officials say COVID-19 cases could drop significantly by the end of July. The projection stems from a new CDC paper involving 6 research teams. But the good news comes with a stern warning, with experts claiming that failure to comply with mask mandates and social distancing will stop the progress, noting that hospitalizations and deaths could see a, quote, substantial increase. Currently, the U.S. is reporting an average of 350,000 new cases each week.
Wyoming House Republican Liz Cheney writes in an op-ed in the Washington Post that the Republican Party is at a turning point and must choose between truth and the Constitution and former President Trump's cult of personality and false claims that he really won the election. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan says the votes are there to remove Cheney from party leadership.
You can't be the conference chair when you consistently speak out against the leader of our party and you consistently speak out against the positions that the vast majority of our party and our country, I think, hold.
He tells Fox he expects a vote to remove Cheney as the number 3 House Republican next week.
I absolutely love this state. I'm a fighter, always have been.
Caitlyn Jenner, running for governor of California as a Republican, tells Fox's Sean Hannity she couldn't have done it as Bruce Jenner before transitioning to being a woman because it wasn't who she really is. Lumber prices have hit a record $1,600 per 1,000 feet of board volume. That's adding nearly $36,000 to the average cost of building a new home, according to the National Association of Home Builders. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News, traffic.
A crash in North Fort Myers at Diplomat and Cleveland Avenue is slowing traffic northbound on 41. If you're looking for a crash-free option, there's always Business 41 as of right now. If you're heading out of North Fort Myers into downtown, no complaints over both bridges. Should only take you about 3 minutes. However, Coon Road is slowing northbound to Bayshore. Bayshore still looks great getting onto I-75. The trip to the minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Watch out for patchy areas of inland fog this morning before that transitions to areas of rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. The main inland threat is going to be toward Highlands, Glades, and Hendry counties, where we could see some of the storms to become strong. Don't worry though, as we head toward the weekend, drier air mixes in and our rain chances do lower. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. You know the real estate market's really hot right now, but for how long? Well, nobody really knows. I mean, if people don't catch up on their mortgage payments because of COVID, the market's going to get flooded with foreclosure inventory, and that's scary because your home's value could plummet. So if you thought about selling your home for a premium price, now's the time to do it. But you don't want to make any costly mistakes. That's why you need to get with Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. See, he's been buying, selling, brokering, and investing in real estate for over 20 years. Mistakes in real estate can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Anthony wrote a book on how to sell homes, your home, and for the most money. And he wants to ship it to you for free. Just go to GomesMovesHomes.com and tell him where you want to send it. Inside, you'll gain 20 years of secrets from wealthy home sellers on how you can sell for a premium price without doing repairs, letting strangers go through your home, and you could pick the closing date. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. Again, GomesMovesHomes.com.
At FPL, we're always looking the future straight in the eye. When the future said cut back on foreign oil, we made way for clean, American-made natural gas. And when the future said we need more clean energy, we said, how about 30 million solar panels by 2030? And when it said we need zero carbon emissions, we said, okay, how about green hydrogen? That's energy made from water. We're planning, preparing, and investing because Florida deserves an energy future we can depend on. See how at fpl.com/value.
Keeping your home and business cool is a struggle, but now you can be the insider on how it all works and how to keep it running when the heat is on. Join Matt and Justin from Island Air right here on Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. for the Island Air Hour, providing quick and effective solutions for commercial and residential air conditioning and heating systems. If you have a question about your system, you can call us right now at 239-747-1550, and we'll be glad to help. Serving Southwest Florida since 1972.
Introducing our King and Queen Cut prime rib specials, available Friday and Saturday nights at Seed to Table. The King Cut is over 22 ounces of tender Braveheart Angus prime rib with the bone in, served with mashed potatoes, green beans, horseradish, and au jus for $29.99. The Queen Cut is 14 ounces of boneless prime rib with the same delicious sides for $24.99. See you soon at Seed to Table.
Looking to hire? Indeed will help you speed up the process. They have 135 skill sets to help you find the right candidates faster. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Hey, how you doing today? Great to see you here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. If you're watching at the website, we appreciate it. Good for your smartphone, smart device, your computer. If you're still on Facebook, at Drew Steele Radio, look, we're doing it because it's a service to you, but I got to tell you, you understand how big tech is and the tyranny of big tech. And Facebook making the decision that, through their oversight board, which is humorous. The oversight board is a joke as it is, and everybody knows it, and it's a bunch of woke journalists and all these kind of individuals. A broad spectrum of the United States. Of course, it doesn't mean that they would be fans of the former president. No. We don't want that. And the board says, no, Donald Trump cannot be on the platform anymore. But, hey, listen. To give you a little carrot, all of you Trump supporters, conservatives, people who are into the First Amendment thingy, the thing. Let me give you a little carrot. Here you go. Ready? This is what they said. 6 months, Facebook, you got to figure it out. You guys come together, figure out how this is all going to work out, because you got to do something when it comes to these issues. But ultimately, does the former president get onto Facebook? No, he does not. Is it something that has to do with the idea that we love and free speech? You better believe it. Of course, there's another reason why. And the dirty little secret, and the thing that is important to remember, is that Facebook and the engagement on Facebook makes a lot of money. Let's not forget that if you are on Facebook and you have a very, 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 looking at my watch, very, very, very popular president who wants to communicate, and the only way on the planet you may be able to communicate with people that support you is through Facebook, you're going to get a lot of clicks. You're going to get a lot of engagement, and that means money. And so it's not only Facebook saying, oh, it's dangerous. Guy's dangerous. Look at what he did on January 6th. Oh, you mean the part when he was explaining to supporters there to peacefully go to the Capitol? Yeah, no, the violence, the rhetoric, all the awful things that he said about the vid and the misinformation about coronavirus. Like what misinformation about coronavirus? What part? Oh, you can't talk bad about you can't call it the China virus because that's why? Yeah, I know all that kind of. See, that's what they want you to see and hear, and that's what it's a part of it is what it's about. But another part of it is, denying the financial benefits from Facebook and more. And look, it's big tech. They do what they do. So how do you fight back? What do you do ultimately? A little bit of that conversation will be happening this morning. Media Research Center does some fantastic work. Dan Gaynor is going to join us at 7:35. We'll go into this Facebook issue and big tech issue and kind of start to delve into this a little bit and what it even looks like into the future. One thing we recognize really quickly, right out of the gate, is that even when it comes to what's happening in our society, not only with social media, but politics in general, that there is a tipping point for everything. Pendulums always swing. Pendulums don't sit still, everybody. That is something that you can look at as either a net negative or a net positive. That even through all of these times and all the woke things that are happening and all the frustrations that we have, there's still a population out there who's watching and seeing and knowing tangibly what's happening to them in their lives personally and are saying to themselves, this is not what I signed up for. This is not where I want to go. When I find out that the Joe Biden coronavirus relief that he was talking about yesterday for restaurants, where he was trying to get through a sentence and barely could get through it with the numbers, and it's just another Biden disaster gaffe that we'll play the audio from, when you come to find out that it prioritizes funds for non-white business owners. That's right, the restaurants and venues owned by white men will be the last in line for federal relief under this Restaurants Revitalization Fund. And people hear that, and even in the sense of fairness, that's not fair. And do you think the majority of Americans, do you think the majority of fair-minded, common-sense individuals in this country are looking at this and saying, oh, no, that's a good idea because it's been unfair for far too long? Or do you think the unfair for far too long, woke, critical race theory crowd is really not the majority of Americans? And I might make the case that it's not. And if it's not, and you see these things that are happening, and it's not benefiting, because remember something. If these restaurants and venues fail, and you're making it a failure for them because you're telling them from an administration on high that we're doing this out of equity and fairness, and then those restaurants and venues don't exist, that means that everybody who goes to that restaurant loses. That's every race, that's every creed, that's every gender identification, however you want to do. That's everybody who goes there. So everybody loses. That's the fun issue here, or the fun part of this, which is when they're sitting and thinking, oh, look at us, look at what we're doing to this, to these, we're going to have them pay. This is about equity. Oh, we're going to show you equity. When all of a sudden you realize that these are businesses in every community. These are businesses that everyone goes to. Everybody goes to. And unless you're going to put something on the door that identifies who owns the business and what their political affiliation is, or their gender identification, or whatever you want to do, unless you start doing that and identify every business that way, then you really are hurting everyone, right? Do you see what I'm saying? But maybe that's their goal, is to, at the end of the day, identify every single business like with a mark. It sounds sick, but again, I start the show this way because I'm trying to give you a little bit of hope and something to look forward to. And I really do think that the more and more we start to hear about stories like one that I'm going to talk about this morning, California, proposing a ban on advanced math classes to promote equity. In other words, it's not fair that there are some that get to go and be in advanced classes when others can't do math as well as those individuals. So to make things equal, we have to eliminate those advanced math classes. When you hear things like this and you say, it's California, you do realize that California is the breeding ground, the incubator for the worst liberal ideas on the planet. And who do you think follows these liberal policies? Your liberals locally, who end up being on school boards right here, who we end up bringing in from out of town to be superintendents in the future because those liberals want those liberal ideologies here because it's about equality, it's about fairness. Don't you understand? You're too dumb to figure this out. You're too backwards to figure this out. You've been living in the South for far too long. Don't you know the history of the South? It's you bad Republican conservatives, the right. Don't you understand? Hayseeds, is that a way to? I don't even know. I don't want to say it, but you see what I'm saying. They're saying that about you. Don't you understand? You got to get more progressive. Come on, man. You got to get with the times. You've got to get with the culture. You're way too far behind. So what we're going to do as the enlightened, as the Lee County School Board or the enlightened Collier County School Board or the enlightened teachers who are principals of their schools and whatever it is, and they're the ones that are saying, no, we got to have critical race theory in this school. We have to have a segregation. We have to segregate students. You don't understand that we have students that we're told that are better than others, and we can't have that. That's not fair. And so what they end up doing is they look at states like California, who are literally doing this. In the name of equity, California is going to discourage students who are gifted at math. And that's just the beginning of that. That as they do this, and as they implement this, and as this becomes part of the culture in California, that ultimately is the culture of Hollywood, that ultimately is the culture of video games, that ultimately is the culture, period, full stop. Politics being downstream from culture. Politics being downstream from culture. The culture calls the shots, the politics follow along. That it ends up here. It ends up right in our town. And then we open our eyes one day and we go, well, I didn't have a say in this. How did this happen? Because the people that you voted for fooled you into believing that they were conservatives like you, that they had your values, and they don't. And so ultimately, if they're going to bring people in, let's just say a superintendent choice decides to come along and you've got the Lee County School Board who's going to pick that individual or make that choice after maybe no vetting whatsoever. Just like, no, we did. We vetted it, and don't you worry about it. We have it under control. You have to question it. Because they're not going to bring somebody in that's going to be antithetical to their values, and their values are left-leaning. Full stop. Where am I wrong? And, the story about Ron DeSantis yesterday is another example. Ron DeSantis, who said to everybody, look, not only am I not going to follow along with your rules and your edicts, not only am I not going to ignore the science that I see, that you see, that the CDC sees, that Dr. Fauci sees, that Joe Biden really doesn't see very much, if we're going to be really honest about it.
Not a joke.
It's not a joke. I mean, maybe he sees it, but I'm not sure he's picking up on it. He's not smelling what anybody's cooking. But not only am I not going to I'm going to follow the science and then make a judgment call based on the science and say, listen, when it comes to COVID-19 emergencies in the state of Florida, we're just not going to do it. But you're going to put people in danger. Really? Are we putting people in danger? Really, I see Walt Disney World is starting to decide now that maybe they don't have to temperature check every single person that's walking into the park. They're going to be doing that on May 6th, starting next week. Why are they doing that? Because it's based on the science and what they're seeing and their health experts that are saying, hey, maybe we don't have to do this anymore because maybe we are on the other side of this, and maybe because we've been open for a very, very long time and we're not a super spreader event every single day. That there is evidence to show that we're turning the corner and more than turning the corner, and the science would dictate that, and so would the data, and that's what the governor is looking at. And then yesterday, the governor's like, you know what? You all can talk about all you want about defunding police departments. I understand that there is somebody out there, Representative Val Demings, who's being discussed right now as a possible Democrat candidate for governor of the state of Florida in 2022, an ex-police chief and officer. And we're told that she's going to be this moderate, the moderate that the Democrats need in the state that will bring them to victory. When I'm telling you that she's a Democrat, it doesn't matter. Whatever she says doesn't make a difference to people that you're trying to convince to vote for you, especially because you have a record as someone who worked in a police department and a police chief. Yeah, but you still abide by the rules of the Democrat Party, which say, no, you defund police departments. She's still there. That doesn't change. The party is not going to suddenly say, oh, you know what? Let's change everything we believe about funding police and funding first responders and the people that are out there on the street every day risking their lives to keep our communities safe. And yeah, we're going to call them heroes. And yeah, we're going to call them people that we respect. And we're going to look at that the right way and understand that these departments need to be funded because we don't call a baker in the community to come save me from somebody who's robbing my home. Unless, of course, you save something delicious. Maybe you made a nice cake and they just want the cake. And it's like, I don't want to get angry or anything, but I'm holding a blunt up. Okay. The point is that you can make it sound like you care about those departments all you want, but the party doesn't. They've already said it. Everybody knows it. And so when the governor steps up and says,
I asked the legislature in this legislative session, we need to do bonuses for law enforcement. Someone defund Some want to defund the police. We're funding the police and then some.
We're funding the police and then some. Some are saying, well, we got to defund them. Well, we're going to fund the police. The bonuses included in the 21-22 state budget. They're working on this. $208 million allocated for DEO for over 174,000 first responders across the state, 49,000 sworn law enforcement officers, 40,000 EMTs, 35,000 firefighters, 33,000 paramedics in Florida. Do you think the Democrat Party's going to do that? Do you think if Val Demings was the governor of the state of Florida, do you think she would do that? Or do you think she would follow along with the party edicts? You know the answer. And so, yeah, some of this was a shot across the bow, so to speak, politically, from Ron DeSantis to say, listen, if you're going to have somebody who's going to talk tough about police, we don't talk, we walk. We don't talk the talk here. We walk the walk. And it's a one-time bonus, a small token of appreciation. But we can never go far enough to express our gratitude for their selflessness. Val Demings isn't going to say that. Nikki Fried isn't going to say that. Nikki Fried's going to say, hey, anybody got another joint? Come on now. I mean, she's right, isn't she? She's big on marijuana. I mean, maybe she wouldn't say that. That's just, I don't know her that well. I just hear her constantly talking about it. I mean, is Charlie Crist going to do that? Charlie Crist is looking right now at the Democrat Party and going, hey, I see how you do this with Joe Biden. Can you do that with me? Just tell me what to say, and I'll say it. Just put it right in front of me. Just put it on a piece of paper, or even on this electronic device. I don't care. Either way. And there are people that know this, that they know not only where the party stands, what they stand for, but they also see the writing on the wall. And again, it goes back to how I started the program today, and I think this is critical. That pendulum swing, people pay attention. The policies of the woke will affect everybody. You think that the Church of Woke has more and more congregants coming in because they feel like that they are, and that it's growing because they're always the one that will get the benefits and they're never the ones that will be affected. And reality tells us that, of course, that's the opposite of what's going to happen. They're going to be affected. Ultimately, they'll be next in the cancel culture scheme of things. We've seen it happen time and time again. Stacey Abrams said something yesterday on NPR. What did she say? And again, don't miss this. Here she is talking about 2022, this constant barrage of Georgia's laws and how it's not fair and laws that are being implemented around the country, even in the state of Florida. And she's asked about that, right?
We know, of course, that there are hundreds of new laws that would similarly restrict access that have been introduced and proposed in dozens of states across the country. What do you think the impact of those laws could be when you look ahead specifically to the midterm elections? Are you concerned that Democrats could actually lose control of the House and Senate as a result of those?
All right, let me stop right there. That's NPR. These laws, you see what's going on? It's going to affect, they're not going to be able to vote. Nobody has ever defined how. How is it that they're not going to be, how are the Georgia laws, which we've been over time and time again, that those that are actually doing journalism and looking into it and actually read the laws time and time again, how it's been explained. It's not making things harder. You're trying to put a narrative out there. But I don't even have to play the Stacey Abrams answer. It doesn't matter. Just the question in and of itself is simple. NPR, the mainstream media, local, state, and national media, they're all doing the same thing. They're going to parrot these points that Florida's laws are restrictive, Georgia's laws are restrictive because they want people to believe that when the crash happens in 22, and it's looking more and more like there's going to be some big, big, big losses in 22 for Democrats. Not that they care, because they've got these big policies that are already moving forward. They don't care if they lose, but the point is, and I'll explain that in a minute, but that the narrative is being set, that it's been stolen. This constant back and forth about elections being stolen. When the actual election results, people have a question about it being quote unquote stolen because of election integrity and things that happened during a pandemic and ballots that mail-in ballots that shouldn't have been out there by the tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands and then never audited to find out where they came from and if they were legit. And the legislatures in certain states that set the rules only to be changed at the last minute and then, oops, sorry, the election's over, got to go now. And we're not allowed to question that. Is the narrative that the loss is because of restrictions when the reality is very far from being true. DeSantis comes along and does something that is a shot along the bow politically to say, listen, we actually do care about police and funding them, not defunding them. And you're going to bring somebody in the state that's going to run against me that's going to say the exact opposite or kind of sweet talk it to make it sound like, no, that's not who they are. They're still a Democrat. That's exactly who they are. All right, 239-479-5592. Let's go to a break right now. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Billionaire Bill Gates and wife Melinda announced yesterday they're getting a divorce after 27 years of marriage. And while that news surprised many, what may also surprise some is they reportedly have no prenup. TMZ says court documents show no such financial agreement. More than 4.5 million Americans left the workforce during the pandemic, but a Bank of America analyst note predicts more than half of those workers won't rejoin the labor force until the end of the year. B of A says one reason is fear of catching COVID-19. Former President Trump will find out tomorrow if Facebook has decided to unblock him. The social media giant blocked him the day after the Capitol riots. And a mixed ending on Wall Street, the Dow rose 238 points. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report. Invested in you.
Only T-Mobile for Business uses unconventional thinking to help businesses realize new possibilities, like our WFX solutions, enabled by our nationwide 5G network that help teams stay connected and productive where work happens. We also provide an award-winning customer experience and first-class benefits with every plan. Get unmatched network support and value without any trade-offs at T-Mobile.com/unconventional. Capable device required. Coverage not available in some areas. Some uses may require certain plan or features. See T-Mobile.com.
Attention Social Security and SSI recipients. If you did not receive an economic impact payment for your eligible spouse or dependents, you may need to file a 2020 tax return with the IRS and claim the recovery rebate credit. Go to ssa.gov/EIP to see if you need to file a tax return and if eligible for other refundable tax credits, like the child tax credit. That's ssa.gov/EIP. Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Who's really running Joe Biden's White House? The First Lady? Kamala Harris? Maybe Barack Obama. Now, Newsmax's Greg Kelly asks the tough questions. Watch Greg Kelly tonight at 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern and see his series, Who's Really in Charge? Newsmax TV is on all major cable systems. If you don't get it, tell your cable operator you want Newsmax. Or download the free Newsmax app on your phone and start watching right away. Millions are watching Newsmax. So should you.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence. Oh, yes! So if you're having AC problems, get our $49 tune-up, including no breakdown guarantee, and Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today.
Call today, cool today, FloridaCoolToday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Hi, this is Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows in North Fort Myers, and Storm Shield wants you to be prepared for the upcoming season. Global Weather Oscillations, an organization that predicts storms and hurricanes, has just been cited as the most accurate in storm forecasting by the media. Professor David Dilley, senior forecaster for Global Weather Oscillations, says that GWO's Climate Pulse technology model indicates that some regions of the United States have entered or will be entering the most dangerous hurricane landfall cycle in 70 years.
The experience with their product was great. We went through the storm. We didn't have to rush around and get plywood. We didn't have to put up shutters. It wasn't loud. It wasn't scary. There was no noise at all. We could see outside the whole time. We felt safe, and I just can't thank Storm Shield enough for the quality of their product and the peace of mind and security that it gave my family and me through the storm.
Enjoy the peace of mind, safety, and security that Storm Shield Hurricane Windows and Doors will add to your home. Call Storm Shield for a free in-home estimate today at 239-491-7000. 491-7002.
License number CGCA 60475.
True relief for back and neck pain. Are you driving down the road right now with back or neck pain or pain into your arms or legs? Maybe your struggle is getting out of your bed or chair. Maybe you get weakness when you put weight on your leg or swing your golf club. It's time you address this problem once and for all. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, these are the conditions that we treat every day, except we treat the root of the problem. No injections or pain meds. Non-surgical spinal decompression, recognized around the country for incredible statistical results for long-term pain relief. Break the cycle of pain from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, arthritis, or car accidents. Non-surgical spinal decompression can get your life back. Spinal decompression is safe and comfortable for any age and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. Don't hurt anymore when the answer is only a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? Being a member of the Air Force Reserve. It's doing a job that makes a difference. Serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve. To find out about local job opportunities with the Air Force Reserve at Homestead Air Reserve Base or Patrick Air Force Base, call 800-257-1212 or go to afreserve.com. SteelSteel.com. This message is sponsored by the Air Force Reserve, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
People say they don't like going to the dentist, but what they mean is they don't like the discomfort. Dr. Alan Rembos at smilesbyrembos.com understands. Dr. Rembos uses computerized anesthetic delivery, resulting in 50% fewer injections. And Dr. Rembos places and restores implants, eliminating delays, additional costs, and no running around. New patients and emergencies usually seen within 24 hours. Cosmetic treatment often completed in 1 to 2 weeks. Read the reviews at smilesbyrembos.com. Offices in Marco, Naples, Sanibel, and Fort Myers.
The real estate market is really hot right now, but for how long? I'm Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. You've heard Drew Steele talk about me on his show. If you're thinking about selling your home for a premium price, now is the time. You can sell over market value without doing repairs, letting strangers in your home, and you pick the closing date. Learn how for free. No pressure, no obligation. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. GomesMovesHomes.com.
Wink News, traffic.
A crash under I-75 on Daniels Parkway is not delaying traffic as of right now. It's off to the side of the roadway, but you really want to make sure to watch that speed passing through. This is as you're heading west of Treeline to the interstate to give you some more perspective. Also, a crash in North Fort Myers at North Cleveland and Diplomat, slowing traffic northbound on 41. Business 41 is still fully up to speed if you want the option to avoid the crash. Also, I-75 commuters, we look great. However, dealing with some fog on the roadways, especially if you are heading over to the East Coast, there's a travel advisory between mile markers 102 to 52. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Watch out for patchy areas of inland fog this morning before that transitions to areas of rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. The main inland threat is going to be toward Highlands, Glades, and Hendry counties, where we could see some of the storms to become strong. Don't worry, though, as we head toward the weekend, drier air mixes in, and our rain chances do lower. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Tee up and swing into summer at Coral Oaks Golf Course in Cape Coral. Experience excellent playing conditions, GPS golf carts, and low summer rates. Play 18 holes with cart for just $35 before noon, $30 after noon, or play any day after 2 p.m. for only $25 all summer long. Book tee times up to 7 days in advance at CoralOaksGolf.com. We'll see you at Coral Oaks, where every day is a great day.
Being involved in a legal dispute can leave you feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Understanding the law and the rules of evidence can mean the difference between winning or losing your case. If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I haven't had a chance to do this in a couple of days. Great to see you here. Thank you for being here. Hopefully, you'll be at Oaks Farm Seed to Table on Friday. We'll be there 6 to 9. Well, that's tomorrow. Gosh, I don't even know what day it is. All right. I just wanted to say good morning and see who's watching, whether you're on the website, drewsteele.com, or whether you're on Facebook. Look, I hate being on the platform as much as people hate it. But there are a lot of people that are still using it, and no sense. I can tell you this, I'm not making anything from it. It's not giving me anything. All it's giving me is the opportunity to have you watch this program. That's all it's doing for me right now. So just want to say good morning to you, and thank you for watching, and thank you for listening. I'm looking at the time. I got about 3 minutes. So, all right, Donna, good morning. Good to see you. Donna's watching on YouTube. And that's a nice picture. Look at Donna with... Is that okay? So that's Donna and some very nice looking gentleman who looks like he has a healthy beard there. Very nice. So good morning, Dawn of MAGA. Dawn of MAGA, you need a picture though. You need like a nice thumbnail. Dawn of maybe like a big word that says MAGA and then like you in the front of it with a smile or something. I love you, man. I love you, man. Back at you. Gary, you need a nice thumb too, right? You're having issues trying to chat on the website? Wouldn't surprise me. I'm sure the tech world's not loving me this morning. Native American, hello. And hi to Jake too. I'll tell him you said hello. He's in a bitter mood this morning. It's a long story. I know, it's almost Friday. We're this close. My fingers are thinly spread apart, but I don't have to say it. You can actually see it. So that's good. Good morning, good morning. That's an awesome dog. Can I just tell you how much I love dogs? I don't know if I've ever mentioned that to you. Man, I wish I had a picture of my dog. Do I have a picture of my dog? All right, hold on a second. I'll show you. Gosh, the only thing I have with my dog is, I hate to say it. Let's see. She passed a while back. It's been 2015. Oh man. This is this was in December 2015. This is actually, I don't know if you can see this, but this is actually my son. This is my son. This was the day before my dog passed, and this is actually a video of my son reading to my dog on the floor of the kitchen. He was reading a story to him because he knew he was sick, and he was reading a story to just because he knew he was sick, and he just wanted to read him a story while we were getting ready to just try to take care of him before and he was fine there. He was just sleeping, or just laying down. Oh gosh, all right, well that was ouch. Well, that was kind of a depressing way that kind of hurts my heart looking at that. All right, I'm not really happy that I did that, and my family's not gonna be happy about that either. All right, I know, and it was a long time ago, Donna. It was a very long time ago. So, yeah, by the way, can I just tell you this real fast? All right, a little happy joy. My son is an incredible writer. All his life, he reads. He's a reader, right? He writes these stories. One day I'm gonna put like a famous voice to his stories. They're that good. And okay, anyway, I gotta go. Okay, gosh, that was like a weird segue to this whole thing. Now I'm depressed. All right, back into it. Cheer me up.
I trust Rock Solid.
See why homeowners and contractors choose Rock Solid for the finest countertops. Now with our newly expanded showroom, making your home improvement experience even better.
Rock Solid in the Pink Building, 2240 J&C Boulevard, Naples. Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
C just unveiled new social distancing rules that ban dancing at weddings. So if you planned a big choreographed dance, the mayor just did you a huge favor.
Okay, did you hear about that? So there we go. The government there in Washington, D.C. wants to let everybody know that, you can, the weddings, cool. But no dancing. No dancing at weddings in Washington, D.C. How about that? I mean, Jake feels good about that because Jake is, let me ask this question real fast before we move on with this. Jake, have you been, this is an interesting question.
I've been dancing?
No. I'm going to ask you, this is an interesting question. I want you to think about this. This is for everybody. If you're listening right now, wherever you are, if you're watching at drewsteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's, if you're watching on Facebook for the time being, and we'll get into the whole Facebook Trump story coming up and whether or not I'm going to be there much longer. This is an interesting question. Jake, do you, if you go to a wedding, do you dance? Do you dance at the wedding?
Yeah, I probably would.
You do? All right, well, you've just completely ruined what I was about to say. But okay, good. So Jake dances, and I wonder how many people, all right, let me ask it this way, Jake. How about this? How many of you don't go to weddings and dance, but when you were kids, you did it all the time? Like, you didn't even care. As a matter of fact, if you were a teenager, if everybody else was doing it, you were doing it. Like, it was that kind of life. It was that kind of fun. You just did it. We all would dance. And then now as adults, and now this generation probably doesn't want to dance anymore. Like, they don't even, because it's not cool, or they're worried about being captured for Snapchat or Instagram or whatever the hottest thing is right now, or TikTok, and being mocked. And so they would rather not be mocked and be made fun of or pointed out because of, when you just dance, feel free to dance. And isn't there a meme? What's the thing about life when they talk about dancing? Live your life dancing, somebody will text it, 239-479-5592. Jake, keep an eye on the text line because somebody's going to text this line about live your life, dance like nobody's looking or something like that. There was this meme that's out there, or somebody wrote or said, but somebody will text it and then you'll read it to me. But that is interesting, right? How there was a time when as a kid, you dance all the time. And then as a teenager, hey, if your friends were doing it, you did it as well. And then as an adult, you don't care, you're doing it. People look at that and say, you know what? It's the enjoyment of life. Now, kids, teens, adults don't want to dance necessarily if they're not good at dancing because, well, maybe not adults, more like kids and teens, because they don't want to be the next TikTok sensation because somebody made a fool of them. Or they don't want to be made a fool of on social media. Am I right? I mean, I hate to be right about something like that. Speaking of right, Muriel Bowser is the mayor of D.C., and just to let you know, she's not right. Asked by CNN yesterday about this whole thing. Who was it? Allison Camerata, who I guess in a bit of journalism asked a question that everybody else is asking: is how do you go to a wedding and not dance? Like, you've opened it up to weddings, but now you're telling people that they can't stand and they can't dance at the wedding. Really? What's your answer to that?
Well, I think there's a lot of good to a wedding, like people starting off their lives together and doing it in a safe way and not doing it in a way that puts themselves or their guests in danger. And let me be clear, on May 1st, we were proud of our residents and businesses who made conditions in D.C. such that we can start opening up these facilities. An alternate headline may be, now you can host a wedding in Washington, D.C., a regional meeting.
Oh, you see, you're missing the point. No. That's not the headline. The headline isn't you can't stand or dance. No, the headline is we have allowed you to now have gatherings and weddings. Isn't that the story? The headline is in Washington, D.C., and maybe in other places across the country, you're now allowed to do what we tell you to do. Within reason. Not completely. Let's not get carried away. No dancing. But do you see what I'm saying? That's the new narrative. No, you're missing the point. Allison Camerata probably very dutifully agreeing with her. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. I'm sorry. I should have checked with the producers who probably talked to you off the air about this and came up with the storyline that we were going to go with so that everybody would agree with you that it's okay. Yeah, the storyline really is about the fact that we can have weddings now. Have you been to a wedding in Florida lately? How about a couple of months ago? How about a long time ago? And this is where we are, right? That we're now being told that we can now start to kind of sort of live our life based on what? The science and the data that Joe Biden is giving us. Hey, speaking of Joe Biden, do you want a little morning cup of Joe? How about a little morning cup of Joe? Yesterday was the big discussion about restaurants, the Revitalization Fund, the RRF, and getting restaurants back on track and building better and better than we've ever built. We're not just building back better, we're building back better. That right? Remember that? It was, okay. Anyway, here's a little morning cup of Joe for you.
Sit back with your morning cup of Joe.
Not a joke. Job creation is soaring. The economy's growing, and our country is on the move again. But some of the parts of our economy need special help. At the top of that list is our nation.
Wait. Sorry, usually I let it go, but I had to stop there. Listen to that again, because this was a sentence. This was a whole thought. Listen.
Job creation is soaring.
Okay.
The economy's growing, and our country is on the move again.
Okay.
But some of the parts of our economy need special help.
What? Like, I didn't edit that. It just like his thought just fell off a cliff. It's like a guy who's just walking and he's too busy. It's like somebody. It's like a Gen Zer who's looking down at their phone and crossing the street and can't figure out why they just get hit by a car. Just off the cliff.
But some of the parts of our economy need special help. At the top of that list is our nation's restaurants. When COVID-19 pandemic struck, our nation's restaurants were some of the first hit and the worst hit.
Numbers, please.
In 2020, more than 2.3 million restaurants jobs disappeared. 2.3 million restaurant jobs disappeared. Restaurants are more than a major driver of our economy. They're woven into the fabric of our communities.
Okay, there you go. So a little bit of all right. So some gaffes, some slip-ups. What's the big deal? It's not that big a deal, right? I mean, what's going on here? I mean, so there's Joe yesterday, and talking about the restaurants and the revitalization of restaurants and what we need to do. Oh, and by the way, hey, this just in.
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
It's really not just in. It's really not breaking news. But here's Breitbart. Biden coronavirus relief prioritizes funds for non-white business owners. That's right. Restaurants and venue owners, venues owned by white men will be the last in line for federal relief under the Restaurants Revitalization Fund, prioritizing funds for women and minority groups. Small business associations opening the application process by which owners of restaurants, bars, and other venues can apply for federal relief to help make up for the loss of revenue as a result of economic lockdown spurred by the Chinese coronavirus crisis. The plan allows for business owners to apply for relief up to $10 million per business and no more than $5 million for a physical location. Business owners don't have to repay the funds so long as the money is spent by March 2023. The relief, though, it's being prioritized based on race, gender, and whether or not the business owners are considered, quote, socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. White men, for example, who are not veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces, are not eligible for, quote, priority period processing and funding. And it goes on to talk about how important it is to segregate with this in order to be, well, equality. You know, this is something that you hear and is going to happen and people are going to be affected by in those restaurants and venues in communities all across the country that will not be able to open up because they won't be able to get the funds because maybe they're not going to be prioritized and they can't hold on any longer because, you know, in the name of equity. And there are individuals from every race, from every sex, from every gender, from every walk of life that go into these restaurants and venues that will no longer be there. And those people get affected too, don't they? Those that can't go? Yeah, so once again, it's your government hard at work, making it hard for you to work. Hey, I just made that up. Hard at work, making sure you're not hard at work. These are the policies of the left. And, you know, you hear about this, you see this, and you're trying to figure out how in the world any of this gets better. Like, what else could the government possibly be doing to make things worse? How much worse could it be? I have no idea.
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
All right, well, maybe this it could be worse. All right, here you go. Well, now we have a federal judge who has overturned the CDC's eviction moratorium. Well, that doesn't seem like a bad thing, is it? White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki confirming that Biden's Justice Department is reviewing the federal judge's decision. Should have something to say about it later. That Marcia Fudge, who is the HUD secretary, reacted to the ruling at a Wednesday press conference, saying the Biden administration is already taking steps to protect renters under the threat of eviction. So what does that have to do with any of this? So what has happened is, and the Wall Street Journal editorial board was talking about this, continuing government bans on evictions and foreclosures are doing more harm than good. Again, it's the government getting in the way of people being able to do business and commerce and live their life under the guise of we're just trying to help you do business and live your life. We're just trying to make things better by making it worse. So in short, the government is bludgeoning private businesses to fix a problem it created. Suspension of rent and mortgage payments was justifiable last spring when states locked down and some 22 million workers lost jobs. Remember, this whole eviction idea is that you can't do this. People don't have jobs. 22 million workers lost their jobs, and last spring, people were looking and saying, well, they can't make rent and mortgage. We've got to do something about that. But the jobless rate is dropped to 6% from 14.8%, and employers are desperate to hire. You all know it. People are not able to conduct business in a lot of ways because they can't get people to work because they're paying them more to stay on the sidelines. Well, landlords say they increasingly can't afford their mortgage payments, utilities, and maintenance costs because they can't remove non-paying renters. This crisis and these crisis programs are distorting the housing market as well. People are like, I can't buy a house. Do you see what's going on with the housing market? I can't even sell my house because if I sell my house for a profit, what am I going to do and get into a house? Well, nobody thought about this. There are people that are still in houses right now that aren't paying mortgages. They're not moving, so they're just kind of sitting. And that's causing a part of the issue. But also the government coming along and saying to people, you don't have to leave your house. And if that's what's going on, you're not making a payment. Well, somebody's not getting paid. And there's this distortion in the marketplace. But again, it's government saying that they're going to fix things and they're making things worse. Boy, there's a lot of examples of that. I'm looking at the time. We got to take a break. But when we come back, we could talk about this a little more. We could talk about Ron DeSantis funding the police. Thank you very much. How awesome is that? And then a little bit on some of the big tech tyranny that's going on, including Facebook, this oversight board, which is kind of a joke anyway, making the decision that, yeah, Trump doesn't need to be back on Facebook. I mean, it would be dangerous, awful. Really? Really? Well, we'll talk about that more coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
Steele on 92.5 Fox. This is 92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh. It's a tale of two cities. In New York City, 4 hotels with over 1,000 rooms were set up for coronavirus patients. But there are only 21 occupants at these hotels. Social service advocates are furious, according to the New York Post. They think the hotel rooms should be open to homeless people because the homeless, some of whom are infected, are living in the subways or forced into nursing homes. Activists call the situation morally disgusting. Now, meanwhile, out on the left coast, advocates are losing patience with LA's handling of the homeless. The Los Angeles Times reports that homeless advocates and homeless people showed up at a swanky hotel. They asked to see some rooms, and once they gained access, they refused to leave until law enforcement made arrests. So the advocates are now demanding the city government simply seize the hotels and commandeer the rooms to house the massive homeless population on LA's Skid Row. Legal experts say this is doable, but it might be too time-consuming to satisfy these advocates. The process of seizing private property like hotels, it could take months. That's unacceptable. So there you have it. Homeless advocates on both liberal coasts are ticked off. They say the homeless are getting the short end of the stick. Now, who runs these places? Yep, it's liberal Democrats. If this doesn't make sense to you, that's why.
Guest host alumni Buck Sexton here, recognizing this great audience relationship and speaking on behalf of the Oxford Gold Group. It's the company I've come to trust for real gold and silver. Did you know that can still be delivered to your door or placed directly in your IRA or 401k, tax-free and penalty-free? That's right, real gold and silver in your hands or your retirement accounts. Why should you own real gold and silver? Because they both hold their value, especially when markets decline or fail. Oxford Gold Group is the industry leader in precious metals, offering gold and silver at the lowest prices on the market. The Oxford Gold Group will beat any competitor's price on gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-404-GOLD and request your free precious metals investment guide. Call 833-404-GOLD. They'll send you their precious metals investment guide. Call them right now, 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
When it comes to weather forecasting here in Southwest Florida, accuracy matters.
Meteorologist Matt Devitt told you when this storm would hit.
Reliability matters.
Chief Meteorologist Matt Devitt is tracking this powerful storm.
Experience matters.
Just had a huge surge come in from the Atlantic.
Trust Matt Devitt.
Bring that umbrella. Look at all the rain.
Wink News Chief Meteorologist Matt Devitt. Weeknights on Wink News, the Weather Authority.
Next, Rachel.
Stop. Take a breath.
Relax with an hour of self-care.
If you're anxious, it can really affect the functioning of your gut.
Stress be gone by fixing your gut.
If you want something quick that you can just do at home,
and turn your daily routine into a retreat dream.
You're changing my life.
Plus,
Guess who has to get more parchment? This girl.
a giant bowl of comfort. Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
Do you consider yourself the best of the best in HVAC? Conditioned Air is looking for A players to join our winning team. If you consider yourself an A player and love customer service, you should apply so we can get your career path started. We have several top-paying positions available now in Sarasota, Fort Myers, and Naples. Don't wait. Go online to conditionedair.com and apply right now. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. License number CAC 1819590.
The new administration has big plans for health care. Changes are coming that could limit your choices and make your health insurance premiums even higher. Tim Cooper at Health Plan Network recently saved a family of 4 here in the Fort Myers area $600 per month. Act now. Protect yourself and your family with a superior health plan that cannot be canceled. This is a nationwide PPO plan which allows you to pick your doctors and hospitals. Start saving 30 to 60% now. If you are on Obamacare, not insured, or on COBRA, you can look into a private health plan managed by you, not the government. Call Tim Cooper, an expert with 24 years experience at 239-368-6712. That's 239-368-6712. Online at healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Break up big tech. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. That's the call from some Republicans after Facebook's decision to, at least for now, uphold a ban on Donald Trump.
Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz tweeted a message to liberals asking if the big tech oligarchs can muzzle the former president, what's to stop them from silencing you? The former president himself weighed in, saying it's a disgrace and embarrassment and that social media companies must pay a political price. Colorado Republican Congressman Ken Buck asked why Syria's president still has a Facebook account.
They apply these rules so unfairly and inconsistently that the American public just doesn't have confidence in this.
Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren agrees with many Republicans that antitrust regulators and Congress need to rein in big tech, but she tweeted that she wished the former president's ban was permanent.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The State Department says non-emergency employees in India are free to leave because of all the coronavirus cases there.
India has seen a dramatic increase in cases that has led to a lack of hospital beds and oxygen for patients. The State Department has advised Americans not to travel to India. In Washington, Sean Lanchel, Fox News.
The husband of a Colorado woman missing for nearly a year is under arrest.
Suzanne Morphew vanished on Mother's Day 2020 after she reportedly went for a bike ride. Suzanne's husband, Barry Morphew, posted a video on Facebook a week later pleading for her safe return, but authorities believe it was all an act.
He was taken into custody near his home in Poncha Springs. He was alone at the time of his arrest, and he was arrested without incident.
Chaffee County, Colorado Sheriff John Speasy.
Today is not the day for celebration, nor does it mark the end of this investigation.
Barry Morphew is charged with murder and other counts. Suzanne's body has yet to be found.
Fox's Steve Rappaport. The Texas legislature is close to passing a law letting nearly every adult carry a handgun in public without a license. Differences in the House and Senate versions of the bill just have to be worked out. America's listening to Fox News.
92.5 92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News, traffic.
A crash under I-75 on Daniels Parkway is not delaying traffic as of right now. It's off to the side of the roadway, but you really want to make sure to watch that speed passing through. This is as you're heading west of Treeline to the interstate to give you some more perspective. Also, a crash in North Fort Myers at North Cleveland and Diplomat, slowing traffic northbound on 41. Business 41 is still fully up to speed if you want the option to avoid the crash. Also, I-75 commuters, we look great. However, dealing with some fog on the roadways, especially if you are heading over to the East Coast, there's a travel advisory between mile markers 102 to 52. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Watch out for patchy areas of inland fog this morning before that transitions to areas of rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. The main inland threat is going to be toward Highlands, Glades, and Hendry counties, where we could see some of the storms become strong. Don't worry, though, as we head toward the weekend, drier air mixes in, and our rain chances do lower. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We want your car, truck, van, or SUV today. We are paying top dollar for clean vehicles. Before you sell or trade, call Lee Auto Group to get the most money for your car. Lee Auto Group, lee-cars.com. Don't forget the dash.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
I received a call the other day from a woman. Her husband tragically was unable to call himself, but he had told her, if anything ever happens to me, call Morgan & Morgan. And what higher honor could we receive than protecting someone's family after they're gone? Life can be shattered in a moment. When that happens, know that America's largest injury law firm is here for you. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Had a chance to visit A Locksmith, their showroom in North Naples. And Andrew is the owner. He is a fantastic guy. Get a chance to talk to him. He's a former police officer and an expert on home security. Maybe you have some needs like a safe, a Liberty Safe. They are the only Liberty Safe dealer in Collier County. And I don't know if you know, but A Locksmith is the oldest locksmith in Collier County and comes with a stellar reputation for professional quality and service. Their staff licensed, bonded, and insured and available. And 100% satisfaction is always guaranteed. Their employees are great. No contractors. They have all their employees there, and they are always professional, on time, serving Collier and Southern Lee counties. So if you're looking for your next Liberty Safe, you want to go to A Locksmith. They have two Naples showroom, one in North Naples, across from Mercado, and one in the city of Naples, just north of Mooring Line Drive on US 41. Or if you want to find out more, visit alocksmithnaples.com.
You'd think an Army veteran with a military career, including multiple combat deployments throughout the Middle East, would be a great American. And you'd be right. But Joe Vanderbosch also happens to be a great dentist. An Army veteran of 8 years, Dr. Joe now makes his home in Southwest Florida, where his wife Sarah grew up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch, Freedom Dental on Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. In the Army, I received extra training in order to provide dental care in virtually any condition. That's why I can manage many dental treatments without the need to refer to a specialist. I served my country proudly for 8 years. Now I want to serve you in your dental needs. Special discounts for former and active military without dental insurance.
Dr. Vanderbosch provides emergency care and is now accepting new patients for cleaning, extractions, crowns, implants, and more. Find them online at freedomdentalfortmyers.com. That's freedomdentalfortmyers.com. Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch. Go to freedomdentalfortmyers.com.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence.
Oh, yes!
So if you're having AC issues, get a new Carrier system and save up to $2,000 in rebates, plus 6 months no payments. And Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today.
Call today, cool today.
Florida, cooltoday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida, Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com. That's the website if you want to watch. Steele has 3 E's. We always appreciate that. And for the time being on Facebook, yeah, I said it, Facebook. Hey, am I even allowed to say that? At Drew Steele Radio. I don't know how long I'll be there. I know the president doesn't get a chance to be on Facebook. Boy, there's a lot there. Mark Zuckerberg, boy, does he have the life. He's got quite the control over, well, a little more than we're comfortable with, to be quite honest with you. And part of the conversation I wanted to have with J. Christian Adams, who's joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. He's the president of the Public Interest Legal Foundation. And listen, the election here in 2022 with Ron DeSantis, this re-election campaign, could be affected by Mark Zuckerberg. Is that right? First of all, it's Drew Steele. How are you, sir?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about this. You know, as I'm reading into this article that I saw on Fox News, I'm kind of worried about some of the money that is out there. First of all, when it comes to Zuckerberg and big tech, there's no doubt that social media, we know the kind of control that they have of speech, and we see that constantly. But the other part of it is one that I don't know if people focus on enough, which is the money and where it's going.
Right. Zuckerberg, and this is important to understand, gave $450 million to state and local election offices in 2020 to get them to do what he wanted them to do. And that was to spend money in places like Philadelphia, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Madison, Phoenix, Atlanta, Miami-Dade, by the way, and Palm Beach, to get out the vote for those folks. And you know, when you get out the vote in Philadelphia, what's going to happen in the statewide election. So all of this private millions moved to influence election offices. And in Florida, a lot of the money wasn't spent. And so the risk is that they're going to roll it over to use against DeSantis in 2 years.
All right. Yeah, I was just going to say, so they can roll this money over when it's not spent. It's almost like they build up this war chest, if you will, so to speak, of cash. It doesn't get spent, and they're able to do it. And it could be, apparently, it could be on anything, right? I mean, any way that they want to do it to get out the vote in their interest.
Right, and understand, here's the important part for folks wondering what difference does this make. The way the money is spent affects who goes and votes. Right? It's a campaign. And Democrats run get out the vote campaigns differently than Republicans do. And that's why when you spend money, for example, in Philadelphia on Spanish language radio, you're not turning out Republicans for Trump in 2020. You're turning out Democrats for Biden. And that's how the money was spent, $450 million around the country in 2020 to turn out the vote for one candidate in key urban areas. And that's what Zuckerberg did to influence the election in 2020, and he wants to do it again in 2022.
You know, so a lot of people will probably say to you, well, what can be done? I mean, is it just recognizing this, being able to call it out? A lot of people have discussed the fact that every time we witness these stories, we hear about them, we can identify them. The one important way to fight back is to recognize it the next time it happens. If there's something that's perpetrated, you witness how it's done, and then when you see it again in whatever form it takes, you call it out. People see it. That's the protection that you have, but that doesn't seem to be enough.
Well,
I mean, what is the protection? What do you do?
Well, I have good news for you.
Oh, good.
States around the country are passing legislation. I actually wrote one in South Carolina, and Florida, and Arizona, and Texas, and Georgia. They're passing state laws in the last few months to ban private money from influencing government election offices. Florida just passed a law in the last few days doing the same thing. That's good news. Everybody listening should be glad that their Florida legislature did that. There's a catch, though.
Yeah.
A lot of these places already have the money. And so what's going to happen next is the big question. Are they going to return it to Zuckerberg and his charity, or are they going to blow it again and spend it on getting Ron DeSantis out?
Right. And certainly we can see how here in the state of Florida, Texas, other states where Democrats certainly want to make their inroads. They would love to have the state of Florida. We know how things have been going with Ron DeSantis, and nationally how he's been described, how if you know anything about the state of Florida and the Democrat Party, it is just a hot mess. It's not a very strong party here, and they've got all kinds of internal issues, but to keep chipping away at Ron DeSantis and what he has been able to accomplish. And so when you look at that, as a broader picture, I have to ask you about election integrity. It's not just the state of Florida, but it's around the country. Many people understand what has been happening with election integrity. They all still have questions about 2020. A lot of folks don't want us to keep talking about it, but we still have questions about what has happened. And even with the pandemic, how things changed due to that. These emergency procedures that state legislatures made, they made in the states when the legislature already had things firm. Let me correct myself, but that's what it is. The legislature already had the policies and everything that was going to be in place with regard to how voting was going to go, only to be undermined by others who told us it was an emergency. There's a pandemic. Things are different now. So how do you respond now when you say, well, 2022 is not going to be like that? Certainly we won't be in a pandemic, so we won't have to worry about that. So so why even worry that's so far away? It'll be gone at that point, so there won't be any emergency measures. So when it comes to election integrity, everything's going to be just fine.
Well, the 2020 election was decided by two things. Number one, and I know what some of you are thinking, but hear me out. Number one, it was decided by what we just talked about, private money going to government election offices to do what they want them to do. In the old days, we called those bribes. The second thing that made a difference was what you just said, and that was changing the rules in the election. For example, we filed a lawsuit, the Public Interest Legal Foundation, against Virginia, and we successfully stopped them from changing the rules regarding absentee ballots. They wanted to allow ballots to come in late for 3 days with no postmarks. How about that? And so we got that enjoined by a court, but that didn't happen in a lot of places. Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, all over the country, they were changing the rules at the last second. It's like having a soccer game and they decide, all right, maybe I should say football. That might be better. Having a football game and they decide to add 5 minutes at the end when the other team's driving for a touchdown. That's what happened in the election is the rules got changed in the middle of the game.
Right. So is it safe to say then, if you're looking for some positive news on that front, election integrity, there's no doubt that state legislatures across the country are concerned about that. The laws have been changed in ways that would ensure not only election integrity, but the ability for people to go out there and cast their vote. And certainly making it a better playing field and better for individuals in the states and making it more secure. But that the only way, and to emphasize that point, is that the reason why 2020 could be different from 2022 is that if there is no emergency, if there is no crisis, then things will be okay at that point.
But here's the problem with that idea. And there's a whole bunch of hyper-funded left-wing groups that sue at the last second, even if there's no pandemic, even if there's no emergency. They're constantly bringing lawsuits to change the rules.
Right,
but happened in 2016.
Right, but on the legal side of that, you can make the argument that in 2020, from a judge's perspective, a justice's perspective, it was extraordinary conditions, so they could see where the case could be made. In 2022, those cases wouldn't be there. So there's a possibility that a judge or a justice would be on your side to say, no, there's no emergency. Yeah. There's no extraordinary circumstances.
Well, I'll offer you up as a counterexample the state of North Carolina, because there was no emergency or circumstances there, and late game lawsuits in 2018 and 2016 changed the election rules there. It happens all the time. It happened in Ohio when there was no emergency. So there's a whole industry devoted. It doesn't affect Florida very much, but there's a whole industry devoted to other swing states of changing the rules in court, even when there's no emergency, and they've done it successfully in the past.
Yeah. Jay Christian, you're not supposed to offer up this. You're just supposed to agree with me. You're not supposed to I know. No, I'm joking because seriously, though, in all seriousness, that's the point. Is that there are many people, and I know you hear this all the time. That we don't want to discourage people and say that there's no hope. That 2020 and what happened there leads people to believe that why bother? And you can't do that. That you have to vote. You have to believe in the integrity of our vote. You have to be aware of what is happening, but also at the same time, you have to be knowledgeable as to the tactics of the left, what they're trying to do, how they operate, and then understand that in mass, there's only so much that you can do if you get out and vote. There's only so much that they can counter, especially if there are more of you than them, I guess is the way maybe to explain it.
Right. No, I agree.
Okay. All right. There you go. All right. Jay Christian Adams is someone who wrote a great article, and I would encourage you to read this. It really is important, especially when Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg and big tech is in the news right now. In this article in Fox News, Zuckerberg money could affect DeSantis' re-election campaign. Got to keep an eye on this. Doing a fantastic job there at the Public Interest Legal Foundation. The president, Jay Christian Adams, joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. I appreciate a few minutes of your time, sir. I hope we can do this again soon. Thanks so much.
Indeed. Anytime. Thanks for having me. Right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so, that whole idea that, and I can't emphasize this enough, extraordinary circumstances. They're going to keep saying that there would be. But I do believe that judges and justices are not going to look at a 2022 if we're not in a pandemic, if there are no extraordinary circumstances, and that we would have them on our side as far as election integrity is concerned. There's still going to be the left. There's still going to be, there's always, the left always sues. There are always lawyers out there that are going to sue during an election season. We know how people lawyer up. It's just commonplace. But again, I can't emphasize it enough. It seems like it's a strong point to me is just recognizing it, that it's there. 239-479-5592. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along, drewsteele.com, the website if you want to watch. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate that. Coming up, boy, there's a lot of stories to get to. Baseball, segregation in baseball. Is that happening? I'm looking at the story right now, and I'll tell you all about it. You tell me if that's the case. And speaking of big tech, Twitter has made a big change that has people freaking out. Have you heard about this? Potentially harmful or offensive tweets, even before I get a chance to see them. What? Yeah, they're going there. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic, here's Sabrina Katz.
A crash on 75 southbound at mile marker 120 south of Corkscrew is delaying traffic for 5 miles. South of Alico, if you're heading onto the interstate, avoid it. As of right now, 41 or 3 Oaks, much better options. A crash at Beth Stacey and 23rd and Lehigh Acres still causing a lot of congestion as well on the roadway. If you're heading west, go ahead and stick to Lee Boulevard, or you even have State Road 82 that's still up to speed. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Fog this morning, rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Watch out for some of that patchy fog on our roadways inland this morning, but showers and thunderstorms mainly toward Highlands, Glades, and Hendry counties this afternoon will have the potential to become strong, so stay weather aware throughout your afternoon. Dry your air mixes in as we head toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hey, this is Papa reporting that a lady recently complained that she did not like my commercial about the guy spitting chewing tobacco. She said that sound made her sick. I asked her what she thought about my commercial of Bart the donkey, and she went... Either way, a special thanks to over 4,000 wonderful people who did respond to Papa's wacky commercials and making this past year our biggest, most profitable year in over 30 years. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Kerry, and Cody, we invite you to call Papa for our free tile roof inspection. If we find needed repairs, we'll do our best to make it affordable. Let us show you how we can clean and seal your tile roof, pavers, and pool decks the eco-friendly way, and it's cleaner, safer, and lasts longer. We promise to keep the donkey off your roof. Call me, Papa, for our free tile roof inspection. 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Remember, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7. License number CCC 1326213.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune into WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney, Saturdays at 6 a.m., Sundays at 9 a.m., right here on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Keeping your home and business cool is a struggle, but now you can be the insider on how it all works and how to keep it running when the heat is on. Join Matt and Justin from Island Air right here on Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. for the Island Air Hour, providing quick and effective solutions for commercial and residential air conditioning and heating systems. If you have a question about your system, you can call us right now at 239-747-1550, and we'll be glad to help. Serving Southwest Florida since 1972.
True relief for back and neck pain. In my office, Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, every day I talk with patients that for so many years just suffered with back or neck pain. Many just assuming that it was normal or something they had to live with. They'd tried injections, epidurals, or even surgery with no success, always looking for a chair to relieve pain, or always dreading pain while sleeping or getting out of bed. It's time to treat the root of the problem. Please don't think there are no other options. You can overcome problems from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, bulging degenerative discs, or scoliosis. Non-surgical spinal decompression can change your life. Think of how much happier you'd be without pain. This Medicare-friendly treatment combines science and technology to offer a state-of-the-art, non-surgical procedure that is remarkably effective. We always offer a free telephone consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate for spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, we're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. A reminder, tomorrow morning, this show will be live at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee in Naples. They open up an hour early so you can grab coffee and grab breakfast. We would love to see you there. We always have a great time. It is our first Friday, and that is tomorrow. We'll be live at Oaks Farm, Seed to Table, and we hope to see you there. Yeah, look at this. In New York, they're doing vaccine segregation. You want to go to a Yankees or Mets game? So you have the governor of the state of New York, Cuomo, there. I can handle things. I'm smart. He's smart. He said, listen, you want to go to a Mets game? You want to go to a Yankees game? Here's what you do. Go to the game. You get yourself a shot. They're going to set up an area where you can get a vaccine right there. And if you do, you're going to get a free ticket. You're going to love it. It's going to be fantastic. Go get the vaccine and you get a free ticket. Nice. Okay. Oh, by the way, we're going to separate everybody too. So starting May 19th, full capacity seating at Yankee Stadium and Citi Field. Fully vaccinated people, full capacity. Isn't that awesome? Oh, but if you're unvaccinated, the unwashed, the capacity is going to be at 33% to comply with CDC social distancing rules. Masks will be required for all fans. So there you go. You got the vaccinated, full. You just enjoy life. Drink your beer and your $17 hot dog and have a great time and enjoy the game. It's going to be beautiful. Pack in real nice and close like sardines, full capacity. And if you're not vaccinated, which begs the question. Hey, so somebody was tweeting. So if I go and I got a 4-year-old and he's not vaccinated and I'm going and I get vaccinated, so does my 4-year-old sit with me in the vaccinated section, or do they go over there in the unwashed section? And do they go sit over there and I go sit over? How do we do that? How does that? No, but you can't. Come on. Everybody's got to get vaccinated. My 4-year-old. Well, come on now. Have they sorted that part out? Not really sure about that. But that's okay. We just want to make sure that no one's confused. Says the governor there in New York.
I can handle things. I'm smart.
239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. We'd love for you to watch when we come back. Oh, boy, there is a lot to discuss. Yes, Donald Trump no longer, well, it hasn't been allowed to, is not going to be reinstated onto Facebook. It has bigger implications, obviously. We'll get to those and what big tech is doing and media with Dan Gaynor, who's going to join us from Media Research Center. That is coming up next.
This is Daybreak.
92.5 Fox News.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and we've got my friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples, on the phone. And Dave, I got to tell you, the selection of floor coverings of Floor Meisters, unbelievable, fantastic. I've seen it myself, and the choices are there. But what we really want to talk about today is this Dreamweaver line of carpets. Talk about it.
I'll tell you what, Drew, this is the hottest thing since 5-buckle overshoes. We're just selling the heck out of it. Comes in 9 different patterns, 12 colors to a pattern. It has 8 warranties, and it even includes steps. The stain warranty will take care of wine, mud, and even pet accidents. So this is perfect for Jake.
Yeah, perfect for Jake, and perfect for me, and perfect for you, too. If you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, really owe it to yourself to visit their store, see their selection of Dreamweaver carpets. It's there at 6281 Naples Boulevard, next to Costco. Now, whether it's carpet, tile, laminate, or hardwood flooring, they have it all. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Injuries on the job can cause you to lose control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar Levine. Money is not coming in and your medical bills are piling up. Our legal team is here to help. We can help you file all your workers' compensation claims to make sure you get the proper benefits you're entitled to. If you've been injured on the job, call the law offices of Anajar Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Naples.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach with an update from our final week of the legislative session. We fulfilled our constitutional obligation to pass a balanced budget, which includes almost $200 million in tax cuts and increased the state's rainy day fund, all while prioritizing education, water quality, and public safety. We passed the largest school choice bill in Florida's history, allowing parents funding mechanisms to remove their kids from corrupt public school systems. We also put an end to biological males competing in women's sports at both the high school and collegiate levels. That bill is sitting on the governor's desk right now. We passed a sweeping elections reform to guard against the fraud and election irregularities that we saw across the country last year. This is State Representative Spencer Roach, and I'm glad to be back home in Lee County. Stay tuned for more detailed updates in the coming weeks, and stay engaged because this is your government and we work for you. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, Post Office Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida 33918.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. India again posts a world record for new COVID cases,
adding more than 412,000 in 24 hours, as well as nearly 4,000 deaths. The healthcare system is struggling to cope. 11 COVID patients reportedly died at a hospital last night when oxygen supplies failed.
Fox's Simon Owen. As air travel picks up, so are problems with passengers.
Each year, on average, the FAA handles between 100 and 150 cases of passenger bad behavior that warrants legal action. But in just the first 4 months of this year, there have been 260 unruly passenger violations. The FAA says most of these cases started off with passengers not following mask mandates.
Fox's Trace Gallagher. And Dow futures up slightly after closing at a record. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
A crash on 75 southbound at mile marker 120 south of Corkscrew is delaying traffic for 5 miles. South of Alico, if you're heading onto the interstate, avoid it. As of right now, 41 or Three Oaks, much better options. A crash at Beth Stacey and 23rd and Lehigh Acres still causing a lot of congestion as well on the roadway. If you're heading west, go ahead and stick to Lee Boulevard, or you even have State Road 82 that's still up to speed. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Watch out for patchy areas of inland fog this morning before that transitions to areas of rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. The main inland threat is going to be toward Highlands, Glades, and Hendry counties, where we could see some of the storms become strong. Don't worry, though, as we head toward the weekend, drier air mixes in, and our rain chances do lower. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
Your home is more important now than ever before. So when your air conditioner needs maintenance, repair, or replacing, Conditioned Air wants to be your first and only call. The Florida weather can be challenging. When you have a cooling issue, our team is here to resolve it quickly and efficiently. You can be assured of honesty, respect, and our desire to exceed your expectations every single time, and we've been doing that since 1962. Conditioned Air, 1-888-COLD-AIR, or online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. MortgageWarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Guys, more candles on the cake means less testosterone in the tank. But we can turn this back into this.
Oh, yeah.
You just need a tune-up.
In men, low testosterone can lead to muscle loss, extra body fat, fatigue, depression, and erectile dysfunction. Suboptimal hormone levels are associated with the development of disease states like osteoporosis, heart disease, and stroke. At Neogenics, we specialize in testosterone, growth hormone promoters, bioidentical hormones, and nutritional programs designed to correct these imbalances and make you feel revitalized. See why patients from across the country are coming to Neogenics and take the first step to feeling great again. Call Neogenics for a free consultation at 277-9999 or find us online at neogenicmd.com. That's 277-9999. neogenicmd.com. Neogenics, rediscover your youth. 277-9999.
Introducing our King and Queen Cut prime rib specials, available Friday and Saturday nights at Seed to Table. The King Cut is over 22 ounces of tender Braveheart Angus prime rib with the bone in, served with mashed potatoes, green beans, horseradish, and au jus for $29.99. The Queen Cut is 14 ounces of boneless prime rib with the same delicious sides for $24.99. See you soon at Seed to Table.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
It's a hot afternoon, and you're listening to the news. And now, you're hot under the collar, too. I'm Matt from Island Air. When you choose an AC contractor, you're entrusting that company with the air that you and your family breathe. A healthy unit means a healthier household. Island Air has a long history in Southwest Florida and hundreds of customer reviews that you can see on our website at islandairfl.com, where you will see the Island Air difference. Want to try us out? Our $99 System Saver one-time maintenance is guaranteed. If your AC breaks within 6 months of the maintenance, we will credit the payment towards any repair. Island Air also offers free second opinions. Let us review your quote for any service, replacement, or repair for your peace of mind.
IslandAirFL.com. That's IslandAirefL.com. IslandAirefL.com or call 239-645-4668. That's 239-645-4668. License number CAC 057544.
Kennedy at 3 and Drive Home with Trey Radel at 5. Now, back to Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Star quarterback Tom Brady said recently that he would trade 2 of his 7 Super Bowl rings to have won a championship at the end of his 2007 undefeated season. Sorry, but we already made a deal, said Satan.
That's not really very funny. 239-479-5592. Yeah, I know. That is an interesting debate if you care about NFL football at all. Is what would you rather have, a Super Bowl championship or an undefeated season? Yeah, I'm done having that conversation too. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line we stream live, drewsteele.com. That is the website. Some of the things that we're keeping an eye on, I have to admit that there was something really, really funny about a post that I saw. I want to see if I can do this to do this justice. So if you know anything about the Babylon Bee, the Babylon Bee is hysterical. It's a satirical website, goes after the left, goes after cancel culture, goes after Democrats. It's awesome, right? And so they had an article called Fact-Checking President Biden's 10 Most Controversial Statements. So they're kind of doing their own fact-checking. It's hard to know what's true these days. That's why our fact-checkers work around the clock to protect you from dangerous misinformation that could lead your feeble little mind astray. How do Biden's most influential statements stand up to our rigorous fact-checking? Read and you'll find out. You can trust us. We're fact-checkers. You know how there's always fact-checkers when it comes to information that's out there with Donald Trump and Facebook and the fact that we can't bring him back because our independent oversight board of fact checkers decided that, oh yeah, he's just full of unfactual statements, and then when you name them, and then of course when they go through some of the things that he said, and the insurrection on January 6th, yeah, it wasn't an insurrection, it was not. Period. Full stop. It was not an insurrection. It just wasn't. But they want to keep the narrative going, and other things as well. So just to have a little bit of fun, they gave quotes from Joe Biden, and I have the audio clips, and I'll just do one today. I might do one a week of these because they're fun. So I have one today where they took a clip of something that he said and then did their own fact checking. So before we get into the meat of our topics this break, let's do this and have a little bit of fun. So here you go. It's the Babylon Bee fact-checking the 10 most controversial statements so far of Joe Biden. So here's the one that they wanted to fact-check first.
So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift.
After researching this claim from Biden, we found that there are indeed people who stack spaghetti sauce at grocery stores. We could not confirm whether the spaghetti sauce stackers actually control the people who bring out the carts or whether they use a forklift to do so. While some facts of this claim are unconfirmed, we're rating this true because Biden is really a good guy. That's funny. That's funny. So there you go. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do some of these. We'll sprinkle them in during the show. Because I don't know, we need to laugh because it's fun. 239-479-5592. It was Dan Gaynor from the Media Research Center who had a tweet of Brian Stelter just a little while ago. Oh, he was talking about from last night. And the Facebook Oversight Board upholding Trump's suspension as he pushes more of the election lies that got him banned. And here's Brian Stelter on CNN talking about some of those lies and where we are right now. And what is he?
6 months from now, what's going to happen? The riot's going to be even further in the rearview mirror. Right-wing media is going to try even harder to cover up the crimes, the shame of the riot. And that's why it's so important that Cheney is calling for a commission, putting that commission idea back front and center. The only way we're going to move forward, if we ever do from this, is with the facts and the truth that Dana was talking about. Let's get those facts on the table. Cheney pushing for a commission, but of course, most of her Republican colleagues don't want to do that.
So Liz Cheney wants to push for a commission to investigate more of what happened on January 6th, the desperate need for a January 6th commission. How do you think that's going to work out? What is she doing? Why is she doing this? It's clear that Liz Cheney is doing this because she understands where the power right now is in the Republican Party, where the American public stand as far as the former president of the United States and what they think about his policies. And if he were to decide to run again, or if you were to push a Make America Great Again agenda, what you're going to vote for. And Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney and others, they just can't have that. And so she continues to do this, and CNN, like they're all excited. It's the 4-month mark since the outburst, the riot, the terror at the Capitol, and Liz Cheney wants to do a commission, and we love her. Hey, could she be part of? I mean, if she loses her gig or she decides she doesn't want to do this any longer, and she's tired of politics, maybe she wants a job. Seriously. I mean, is that why you're doing this? 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. All right, a couple of other things that I'm keeping an eye on. I don't know if you heard about this. Jake the Millennial keeps an eye on the skies constantly all the time, so he probably knows about this. Did you know that we're tracking a large Chinese rocket that's out of control that's getting ready to crash to Earth? Did you hear this? What? You didn't know this. As we speak, Pentagon and the U.S. Space Command are said to be tracking a large Chinese rocket. It's set to re-enter Earth's atmosphere at some point this weekend, likely around May 8th. Look at your calendar. And they have no idea where it's going to land. And I'm talking about, as some would say, it's huge. The debris from this rocket could land on inhabited places. Look, I'm not trying to bring you down or anything, but it could ruin your plans over this weekend. And I'm not saying it's going to land here, but they don't know where. 30 meters in length, and it weighs 22 tons. An immense amount of debris could fall to Earth's surface. They're just not sure where it's going to be. They don't know where. They can't pinpoint it yet, but they're keeping track of it at some place called the Space Track website. I didn't know there was. 22 tons, prompted concern that large parts could re-enter and cause damage. It had happened before. They had one of these big, huge rockets that I guess ended up splashing down in areas across the Ivory Coast. But this one's even bigger, I guess, than the last one. And so they're just keeping an eye on it. Orbiting the globe 15 times a day, 18,000 miles an hour. Any tiny change in the trajectory can drastically alter the final re-entry point. So, listen, if you got weekend plans, just to keep an eye on this guy for a couple of other reasons as well. What's the chances of it? 239-479-55. I just wanted to bring that up, and I have no idea why. I feel like it's been that kind of show today. It's almost been like depressing. I'm trying to bring some happy stories. What kind of happy stories can we bring this morning? Well, let's see. Let's go through some of what's out there. We know that Ron DeSantis is all about funding police as opposed to defunding police. I love that. Yesterday, stepping up and saying just that, right?
I asked the legislature in this legislative session, we need to do bonuses for law enforcement. Someone to fund. Some want to defund the police. We're funding the police and then some.
And that's right. That's what we're doing. And that's Governor DeSantis yesterday making the announcement. And you can imagine what anyone would be thinking on the left here in the state, Democrats in the state, and what they're thinking as far as running against this governor. Do you think that the state of Florida agrees with Ron DeSantis, or you think they disagree? Do you think that somebody who is going to come along and run like a Val Demings is going to be someone who is going to be willing to go against what the party and the left, well, same thing, believe and fund departments and be willing to do that and be willing to support departments, be willing to support these services? And the answer is it's hard to believe that would be the case. And then you have to wonder whether or not some of the local elected officials here in Southwest Florida would agree with that as well. That's a big part of this, is knowing where people stand politically. Like, I'd still love to know where people stand when it comes to critical race theory. Should we be teaching it in our schools? Should we be talking about it in our schools? Should it be presented as legitimate critical race theory in our K through 12 schools? We know that Arkansas has joined a growing opposition to critical race theory, which posits that white supremacy and systemic racism is embedded in every facet of American life, must be actively corrected by re-engineering society, and anyone who denies this is guilty of white complicity and racist themselves. And we know that CRT, as it's been explained by the Epoch Times, has gradually proliferated in recent decades through academia, government structures, school systems, the corporate world. It redefines human history as a struggle between the oppressors, white people, and the oppressed, everybody else, similar to Marxism's reduction of history to a struggle between the bourgeois and the proletariat. It labels institutions that emerged in majority white societies as racist and quote-unquote white supremacists. So on Monday, Arkansas, the governor there, Asa Hutchinson, allowed the legislation to become law without endorsing or vetoing it, which effectively ends critical race theory education within state agencies. And the bill is described as a, quote, act to prohibit the propagation of divisive concepts and to review the state entity training materials. Oklahoma, Idaho, right here in the state of Florida, Texas, various forms of pushback against CRT. And again, knowing what it is, the question has to be asked. Knowing what it is, and knowing that there are colleges, by the way, I was emailed something yesterday about the fact that, look, there's critical race theory being taught at FGCU. There's a whole course on it being taught by somebody who, judging by the article that I read out of FGCU, is kind of angry. And it's being taught there at the college. Of course, that means you have a choice as to whether or not you want to go to that course. I mean, if you don't, what does that mean? What does it say about you? Some might say. I don't. But, again, wouldn't you love to know where everybody stands on critical race theory? Knowing what you know about what it is. Wouldn't you love to know? Every school board member across Southwest Florida, every elected official across Southwest Florida. I'd love to know. I'd love the answers to these questions and many more. And that's the point, is that we will have these questions answered. They will be asked of every single person moving forward. I do want to know that if school boards are trying to bring in, let's say, superintendents into the district, or maybe interim individuals, I've got questions about where they all stand, every single one of them, and they have to be asked. And they have to be provable, the answers that they're giving, by example and deeds, not words. 239-479-5592. All right, who's ready? It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD right now. I need caller number... Yeah, let's do 9 today. Caller number 9, because we have for you not only a diploma for playing, winning Drew's College, whatever diploma you get, but just for playing, you will get a $50 gift card to Naples Soap Company. Naples Soap is fantastic with 6 locations around Southwest Florida. They are amazing. And just a reminder, Mother's Day coming up very soon. Look at your calendar. And what a great gift. What a great place to buy something for Mother's Day. Naples Soap, $50 gift card to you. Caller number 9 right now at 239-479-5592. We'll play Drew's College next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina
We're at a
Katz.
7-mile backup on the interstate starting south of Alico. There's a crash at mile marker 120 heading southbound. Main story here, if you're commuting between Alico and Bonita Beach Road, do not take the interstate. There's 3 Oaks as well as US 41 to avoid it. A crash in Lehigh Acres at Beth Stacey and 23rd with reports of injury as well as roadblock, still causing slowdowns on 23rd. So the best thing to do to avoid this crash is Lee Boulevard or State Road 82 and fog in Lehigh Acres as you're looking over that dash. Just make sure to turn on those low beams. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Fog this morning, rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Watch out for some of that patchy fog on our roadways inland this morning, but showers and thunderstorms mainly toward Highlands, Glades, and Hendry counties this afternoon will have the potential to become strong, so stay weather aware throughout your afternoon. Drier air mixes in as we head toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
You'd think an Army veteran with a military career, including multiple combat deployments throughout the Middle East, would be a great American. And you'd be right. But Joe Vanderbosch also happens to be a great dentist. An Army veteran of 8 years, Dr. Joe now makes his home in Southwest Florida, where his wife Sarah grew up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch, Freedom Dental on Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. In the Army, I received extra training in order to provide dental care in virtually any condition. That's why I can manage many dental treatments without the need to refer to a specialist. I served my country proudly for 8 years. Now I want to serve you in your dental needs. Special discounts for former and active military without dental insurance.
Dr. Vanderbosch provides emergency care and is now accepting new patients for cleaning, extractions, crowns, implants, and more. Find them online at freedomdentalfortmyers.com. That's freedomdentalfortmyers.com. Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch. Go to freedomdentalfortmyers.com.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, visit savingtheinvestor.com.
Celebrate mom with diamond stud earrings from Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. Half carat total diamond weights $395. 1 carat total diamond weights just $985. And beautiful 2 carat total diamond weight stud earrings only $39.85 at the Diamond District.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Gabriel. Gabriel's in Fort Myers. Good morning, Gabriel.
Good morning, Drew.
I hear the trumpets blowing. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We're going to see if you earn a PhD or associate's degree question. Sir starts right now. Hey, do you remember 2012? Well, think about 2012. Remember that year? Some? Okay, good. Hey, who is the Democrat nominee for President of the United States in 2012?
Ooh. In 2012?
Boy, you really don't remember a whole lot of 2012.
Barack Obama.
That is correct, sir. It's kind of a quick trick question, but not really. All right, so you got that? All right, you got an associate's, see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. Speaking of presidents, how many libertarian presidential nominees have gone on to win a presidential election?
None.
None, that is correct. 0, zilch, nada. All right, so you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. The symbol of the Republican Party is an...
Elephant.
That is correct. Yeah, that is correct. All right, you got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this very question. 1935, this president signed the Social Security bill into law. Who was that president?
I want to say it's Roosevelt.
Who was that?
Roosevelt.
That is correct, sir. Good job. What a guess. Are you standing around somebody who's feeding you answers?
No, the only thing was I wasn't going to specify which Roosevelt.
So it's almost like cheating in a non-cheating way. That's something that Jake would do. Jake was like, that's actually a pretty good idea. Jake is kind of shaking his head in approval. Okay, good. Well, congratulations. You got yourself a PhD today on Drew's College. You should be proud of that. And you got a $50 gift card to Naples Soap Company. So there you go. For a Mother's Day, it's a great place to go to shop. But you won't have to worry about that because you got a $50 gift card. But it's a great place to go. So congratulations. Stay there, Gabriel. Where are you, by the way?
Driving the kids back dropping the kids off at school.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Fort Myers.
Excellent. All right. Stay right there. All right. 239-479-5592. Always appreciate you playing Drew's College at this time each and every day on Daybreak.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, this is Papa reporting that a lady recently complained that she did not like my commercial about the guy spitting chewing tobacco. She said that sound made her sick. I asked her what she thought about my commercial of Bart the Donkey, and she went... Either way, a special thanks to over 4,000 wonderful people who did respond to Papa's wacky commercials and making this past year our biggest, most profitable year in over 30 years. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, we invite you to call Papa for our free tile roof inspection. If we find needed repairs, we'll do our best to make it affordable. Let us show you how we can clean and seal your tile roof, pavers, and pool decks the eco-friendly way, and it's cleaner, safer, and lasts longer. We promise to keep the donkey off your roof. Call me, Papa, for our free tile roof inspection. 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Remember, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7.
License number CCC 1326213.
Read the headlines. New car dealers across the country are running out of inventory. They're charging full sticker price or more. Not Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. We planned ahead, and our lots are so packed with inventory. We're hosting the Inventory Overload Savings Event this Thursday through Sunday only. Shop the area's best selection of new vehicles. We have it all. New Nissan Rogues, Altimas, Titan trucks, Pathfinders, all trims and colors. And this week only, we'll buy your old car for $500 more than any other written offer. The Inventory Overload Savings Event this Thursday through Sunday only. Nobody has more new Nissans at such big savings. Rush to Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much. See dealer for details. 92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Vaccines for all. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Biden agrees with those saying the technology behind coronavirus vaccines should be shared as part of a push to get more doses distributed worldwide, especially to poorer countries.
Leaders in the G20 group of large economies, including President Biden, are expected to commit later this month to fully funding a scheme aimed at sending coronavirus vaccines to poorer countries. If confirmed, the pledge would unlock $20 billion and be the G20's first concrete promise to pay for the operation, which is led by the World Health Organization. It comes after the Biden administration moved to ease patent protections for COVID shots.
Fox's Simon Owen. India breaks its own record for daily confirmed coronavirus cases, 412,000, with nearly 4,000 more deaths reported. Vice President Harris, put in charge of the administration's diplomatic response on immigration, says she plans to travel to Mexico and Guatemala June 7th and 8th. President Biden's push for more infrastructure spending takes him to Louisiana today.
The president will visit the 69-year-old Calcasieu River Bridge in Lake Charles to pitch his American Jobs Plan. President Biden is also pushing the American Families Plan, focusing on human infrastructure, free community college, and other programs to be offset by higher taxes on the wealthiest Americans. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell.
What we're willing to do, I say we, the Republicans are willing to do, is to talk to the administration about an infrastructure package that's really about infrastructure. infrastructure.
Also on the president's agenda, a tour of the Carrollton Water Plant in New Orleans. Rachel Sutherland, Fox News.
2 college students from California are convicted and sentenced to life in prison for murdering a police officer in Italy 2 years ago, stabbing him 11 times. Finnegan Elder and Gabriel Natali Yort say it was self-defense. They say they thought they were being attacked. The officers were not in uniform, but say they announced themselves as police. They were trying to recover a backpack stolen by the Americans after they were tricked into buying crushed aspirin they thought was cocaine. America's listening to Fox News.
Wink News. Traffic.
We're at a 7-mile backup on the interstate starting south of Alico. There's a crash at mile marker 120 heading southbound. Main story here, if you're commuting between Alico and Bonita Beach Road, do not take the interstate. There's 3 Oaks as well as US 41 to avoid it. A crash in Lehigh Acres at Beth Stacey and 23rd with reports of injury as well as roadblock, still causing slowdowns on 23rd. So the best thing to do to avoid this crash is Lee Boulevard or State Road 82 and fog in Lehigh Acres as you're looking over that dash. Just make sure to turn on those low beams. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Watch out for patchy areas of inland fog this morning before that transitions to areas of rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. The main inland threat is going to be toward Highlands, Glades, and Hendry counties, where we could see some of the storms to become strong. Don't worry, though, as we head toward the weekend, drier air mixes in and our rain chances do lower. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is the Florida window factory. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we understand Florida weather. With New South Windows, you don't have to sacrifice energy efficiency for storm protection. Our Energy Star rated windows and doors are made with impact and non-impact options, giving you the best of both worlds. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts up to 30%. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
When was the last time you checked in on your insurance? Give CIG a chance to review your current coverage and find you better rates. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. My team and I are dedicated to finding you the best suited coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Qualified agents are standing by. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Dr. Shane Walker here at Thrive Chiropractic and host of the Wellness Hour on 92.5 Fox News for nearly 20 years. And let's face it, many of us are really stressed right now, and that is creating an increase in the number of folks who are dealing with neck pain, headaches, tension across the upper mid-back, anxiety and nervousness. And if you haven't experienced the release of tension that a chiropractic adjustment can produce within your nervous system, go to thrivenaples.com. That's Thrive, Thrive, Naples.com for a special offer. That's thrivenaples.com.
Nothing runs like a... I need something I can depend on. I need a Kubota.
At Florida Coast Equipment, we have equipment you can depend on. We have the best deals in town for Kubota tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, and Kubota construction equipment. Our family has been Florida's premier Kubota dealership for over 30 years. Whether you're buying, renting, or simply need your Kubota service, come on over to Florida Coast Equipment in Naples. Equipment you can depend on at a price you'll love. Florida Coast Equipment. We've got you covered.
I saved big money with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, so I finally bought that new set of golf clubs. Watch out, Fairway. Here I come.
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big with Progressive, but your other expenses won't just disappear. Are those clubs going to help you when the hot water heater dies? Also, it sounds like your money is better spent on golf lessons.
Time to go shoot the course record.
No, but maybe time for a reality check. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence. Oh, yes. So if you're having AC problems, get our $49 tune-up, including no breakdown guarantee, and Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today.
Call today, cool today, FloridaCoolToday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida, Drew Steele.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. That is the website. We always appreciate you watching at drewsteele.com. Some of you want to watch on Facebook. And so we are still there for the time being at Drew Steele Radio, although there are many reasons why people might be upset about big tech today and might be concerned about some of the censorship, might be concerned about the fact that the former president is still banned from Facebook, social media, and all of the things that could be happening next. Plus some other issues we should get into. Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. It's Thursday, it's 8:05, and we are always happy to have him on. How are you this morning, my friend?
Doing good, Drew. Happy belated Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. It was quite a non-eventful day for me, but that's a whole other story. Although my neighbors were asking about that. They're like, what are you doing? I was like, we're just going for a walk with my wife. That's about it. But unfortunately, everybody else seem to be partying a little more than me. But anyway, I digress. Hey, thoughts on big tech? How about that? Any thoughts on what's been happening even lately? You know, the former president and Facebook and the oversight board, and he's not allowed to be here, and we've got to continue to ban him. It just keeps going on and on.
Oh, I mean, they're a joke. Let's be very clear. Facebook and the social media companies have no standards. Their standard is whatever the left likes, and that's the standard that they adopt. Even their quote-unquote oversight board, which is another just foolish little creation that they made so they'd have to make hard choices, came back and said that basically you have no standard. Anybody, if you would even consider what President Trump has said in the past, to violate your standards, that the account would have been shut down for 30 days, or you would have just removed the material. A permanent ban doesn't even make any sense. So you need to go back and take a look at this Facebook. And so this is how bad they are. They don't care. They're like I've always been saying this for a long time now. They don't have an objective standard. The left has no objective standard. Because if that was the case, they would have shut down Maxine Waters' social media accounts. They didn't do that. They would have shut down the Ayatollah's social media accounts. They didn't do that. They would have shut down Louis Farrakhan's social media accounts. They didn't do that. Their standard is purely political because the woke people on the left don't like it when somebody challenges them, and they don't like it when somebody beats them. So then they change the rules.
Yeah. And, you know, we continue to watch this. And one of the discussions I was having this morning was about money and about Mark Zuckerberg and some of the money that was going out to areas across the country, and especially here in the state of Florida, and how there were districts, areas where that money that could ultimately affect the DeSantis reelection campaign here in the state, and bulk of the money going to areas, like we said, Miami-Dade and Broward and different places. And you know, just to keep an eye on that aspect as well. These grants that they got from these different organizations that ultimately, you know, is going to be a huge push to defeat DeSantis. The money that they're going to need to do it. And one of the other parts of the discussion, and maybe you can kind of touch on this before we move on, is that, you know, 2020 was an extraordinary year when it comes to the election and the questions of election integrity, but also about the extraordinary circumstances that were being used as an example, which would be the pandemic, that in 2022, those should no longer be available to us. So not us, to them. And so when there's going to be something happening in 2022 where there might be a push for circumstances where, we're going to have to do certain things in order to, who knows, you could say maybe change the voting rules in certain states. Those will not be available to people anymore. So the reason why I bring this up, and you can touch on this, is that for those that are worried about that issue, don't make it about it was a failure in 2020. There's no way that we're going to be able to have election integrity any longer. There's no sense in getting out and voting. There's no sense in being a part. Quite the contrary. It's going to be a different situation, a different day. And I might say that en masse, if you get out, you can make a difference.
Well, I totally agree with you, and I think if you look at some of the some of the bills that have been passed, whether it's Florida's bill, which the governor is actually signing as we speak right now, or you talk about what we've done here in Florida, or the Georgia bill, the Arizona bill that's working its way through in their audit. Some of the issues of 2020 are being fixed actually by the very states where these issues occurred. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, the left did absolutely use COVID-19 to change election laws. And that is without question. Any media person on the left that's ever tried to question me on it, I push back and say, hey, did they change election laws unilaterally around the legislature? And they say, well, yeah, but it was a pandemic. Well, I say, no, there are rules and you follow them. The number one are these drop boxes. And that's why the left has been, if you say you're going to limit or take them away completely, the left has been screaming bloody murder. You want to know why they do that? There was a congressional race in Georgia, 6 or 7, I believe. I can't remember which one. The candidate who was actually ahead on election night was former member of our military. The person who won the election was Carolyn Bordeaux, who is a Democrat. He was up 1% on election night when all the ballots were in, except they forgot to go get the drop box ballots. When the drop box ballots came in, he was down 1% because the drop box ballots were almost universally Democrat votes. And so there's an issue with these drop boxes because what's very clear, especially in Georgia, is that the ballot harvesting operations were using these drop boxes to make it even easier for ballots to be put into the process. Now, listen, I want people to be able to vote. I have no problem with people having ease and ability to vote. What I do have a problem with is when you have these third-party groups who basically take full advantage of these laws to gin up the vote. And that's the problem, Drew, is that you have these third-party groups that were ginning up the vote, and they used COVID, and they used, frankly, weak leadership in certain states to do that. Yeah. And so what we got to have, if you are a person who's of sound mind, who knows it's time to go vote, and you go try to effectuate your ability to go vote, nobody's stopping you.
Right.
Nobody will stop you in the United States.
Yeah.
But if you are a citizen who doesn't take the personal responsibility to get an absentee ballot, to buy a stamp, to go to your local polling location or to find an early voting location, then guess what? You probably are not going to vote anyway. And that's the one argument that's been lost in all this voter suppression nonsense that the left tries to push. The only thing that's being suppressed are these third-party organizations like Stacey Abrams' organization that are not going to have as much flexibility as they had during the pandemic to gin up the vote.
Yeah.
Let's be very clear on what's happening.
No, and I think that's an important part of a discussion that isn't being, the two of us, we've talked about this on air, off the air. We have these conversations, but these are the kind of conversations that we need to have in communities. If you know of a person who was denied the right to vote, tell us, who was it? Give us the name. Give us the person. Tell us why. I want to see the person. I want to see the individual. Show us who it was and what happened, because I would love to know in what district or what area that was, because I'd like to find out why that happened and call out the person that did it. But that never happens. It's always these arguments about things that don't happen, that didn't occur, under the guise of this is how it's operating. And even to your point about Stacey Abrams, she was just on NPR the other day, or I think it was yesterday, where they keep talking about election integrity in 22 and the voting laws in Georgia, and they continue to do this as if it hasn't already been read through and understood that the things that they're talking about and the rhetoric is not true, that they've been saying this over and over again. It's almost as if, Congressman, and I might say this about Ron DeSantis and what he did yesterday about our officers and some of the things that have been happening with him, the $1,000 bonus and funding the police as opposed to defunding. It's almost like they're setting up we're going to lose in 22. We know we're going to lose in 22, and we're setting it up as if it's been rigged early on. Like that's what the narrative is now. It's not even about the facts. It's just about putting a narrative out there that it's a rigged process here, and 2022, that's why Democrats are going to lose.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to set up. But the reality is that they're going to lose because their policies suck. They're awful. And the American people are seeing this. Look, one of the things we've already seen right now is that this third round of stimulus checks, the $1,400 checks that went out, coupled with the continued enhanced unemployment benefits, what it's led to is that people are not going to work. You have McDonald's drive-thrus in our area, Drew. I know because I tried to go to one a couple nights ago. The 24-hour McDonald's is closed. Why? Because people are not showing up for their shifts. People are not showing up to work. Right. You talk to any small business owner in our area or, frankly, anywhere in the United States, and they will tell you they can't get people to work because they're getting these enhanced benefits. And, frankly, it's better just to sit at home. And think about it. You got a $1,400 check, and then you're getting 100% unemployment benefits. So basically the government is telling you, you can go back to work if you want, but we're going to take care of you anyway. Well, what's that doing is it's putting major pressure on small businesses who are trying to get back on their feet because they can't get people to work. Yeah. These are the policies of the left. This is why they're going to lose elections, because these policies are crazy. They are unsustainable. You cannot do it. You couple that with the fact that I think it was Kamala Harris and her husband were at the tarmac. She kissed her husband through a mask. I'm like, your husband and wife, you sleep in a bed together. If you want to kiss,
and you're vaccinated.
Kiss your husband. But I don't even understand it. And you're vaccinated. This is the pure lunacy that we're seeing from this party. So of course they got to make it about voter suppression.
Yeah,
and these things like that. And, that's the problem we have.
It is a visual. I couldn't believe that yesterday. The two of them walking on the tarmac and they kiss each other goodbye, and they're both wearing masks. They don't take the masks off to kiss. It's just. Again, it's and you're right. It's the policies, but there's another side to this, and just in the few minutes that we have, maybe you want to comment on this, and it has to do with what's going on in the party. Congressman Byron Donalds, by the way, joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. He's here each and every Thursday at this time. Liz Cheney has to be coming up in circles around you. Clearly, the discussion behind the scenes and what's been happening with her. And how even you have Brian Stelter on CNN saying, we're 4 months after the insurrection of January 6th, and we need a commission. And Liz Cheney's talking about a commission. We have to do this investigation. And CNN is getting on Liz Cheney's side with things. Either one of two things. Either she really wants to work at the network bad in the future, or if they're agreeing with her, then maybe it's not exactly someone who's been doing, in my opinion, what is best for the party and in the House of Representatives. What about Liz Cheney? What are your thoughts on what's been happening? I mean, does Liz Cheney represent the House GOP?
Liz needs to go. I've been saying Liz needs to go for months now. So, my position is very clear. Even after the impeachment vote, my attitude was, you're a member of leadership. Your job when you're in leadership is to represent the conference, not so much to represent you. And I know some people are like, well, it's a vote of conscience. I actually don't agree with that, because there's different standards when you're in political leadership. That's just the way it is. Your job is to represent the other members. The other members clearly had no desire to impeach President Trump. And so if you're in leadership, then that's just the vote you need to take. And the reason I say that, Drew, is because as a rank and file member, if there's some bad, leadership bill that goes through a legislative process, and trust me, that happens, the leadership comes to you and expects you to vote on it. And if you don't vote on it, they punish you. I say that because I've been punished for taking votes against Republican leadership when I thought they were bad bills. So this is what happens. And so for me, the second she voted for impeachment, she needed to go then. The fact that she's decided that she wanted to be in a war of words with President Trump, well, that's just stupid. So, yeah, she needs to go, and she's going to go. I'm telling you right now, the votes are there. She's going to go. It's going to happen pretty rapidly. The big question now is going to be who's going to replace her. I know Elise Stefanik is out there. I know President Trump is supporting Elise. So is Steve Scalise and several other members. I'm going to support Elise. That's my decision, because I think Elise is going to do the job of conference chair, which is communicate what the members of the conference think and believe. And that's really it. About Brian Stelter and CNN, I don't care what they think. I mean, they're idiots anyway. And they don't really care what I think. And so I'm not going to listen to them, and my judgments aren't going to be based on them. But you cannot have a member of the leadership literally having a verbal war in front of the liberal left with one of the leaders of our party, frankly, the leader in our party, and that's President Trump. You just can't have it. And so she needs to go. It's just that simple.
Yeah. And I would say on the CNN side of things, it may not be that anyone's listening like us to CNN and really care about what they say. And it's not even about who they're talking to, their audience, and they're going to lap this all up. But it really is about where the support is, and the fact that there are people that will go to those networks to bring all of this up to make it almost seem as if either they have more juice than they do, and they should be respected, and really that if CNN says it, then generally the party feels the same way, which they don't. And then, also that it's just a bad look. It's a bad look because it makes it's that I hope that people like CNN and MSNBC like me. And, that kind of view that if they're talking good and positively about me, then that makes me feel better. And that makes me feel like I have more juice because it's that get along to go along kind of thing that has destroyed the Republican Party in the past.
Totally agree. Yeah. And like I said, we have distractions that happen in politics. We get it. You don't want them to be self-inflicted. This is self-inflicted. And so, this is really on Liz and Liz alone. She did this to herself, and that's just where we are. And look, my stance is very clear. You want to be in leadership, then your job is to represent the entire conference, not just to represent your own views anymore. You have to kind of check those at the door. That's what's necessary for leadership. It's just that simple. It's not about politics. That's about everything. And so your job is to represent everybody if you're in leadership. If you can't do that, don't be in leadership. Liz has proven now on multiple occasions she can't do that. So she needs to go.
Yeah. All right, Congressman, is there anything else you want to touch on before we go? I know we've touched on a lot now, but just want to make sure if there's anything else that's on your mind. I know you've got, things that you're doing, like joining the GOP House Oversight Committee and talking about John Kerry and this probe into what he's doing and a whole lot more.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be looking into John Kerry. I mean, look, the reality is that John Kerry, if the reports are true, he needs to have not just his national security credentials revoked, but he actually needs to be prosecuted. If what they did to Michael Flynn, based upon phone calls with Russians when he was on a transition team, then what John Kerry has done is far, far worse. He needs to be prosecuted as well. Yeah. So, that's the stuff that we're looking into. We're also looking into this new United States Post Office situation where they're actually monitoring social media accounts. I mean, they're broke. They don't even have any money. So how do they find time to do this? These are the things that we're digging into on oversight. And we have not taken our eyes off the border. Even though Kamala Harris doesn't think it's important to go there, we do. I'm actually going to be back on the border the first week of June.
Working hard. Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. We appreciate you. All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much.
All right, see you, Drew.
All right, see you. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Top 5 audio clips of the day coming up and a whole lot more on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Stevens.
92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
No matter what it's like outside, Trane makes it comfortable inside. You can get a great deal now on a new heating and cooling system at Trane. Visit TraneInfo.com. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local dealer and more. Because it's hard to stop a Trane.
It's really a good feeling to know that when it comes to your house and all the water that is in every faucet, every place in your home, that you don't have to worry about the water smelling like chlorine or messing up your shower glass, your faucets, right, with that hard water staining, the drying out of your skin and your hair. Just imagine what that would be like. You don't have to imagine it. You can just do it. You call the Uniform Pentair water specialist. They can find out what's going on with your water and handle your city or well water issues. Yours, right here in Southwest Florida. With their mobile showroom, you can see for yourself that Pentair has both high-performance salt systems and salt-free solutions too. And salt-free means no lugging in bags of salt for you, and that they can install that Pentair water system for you as well. You're going to love the way your water tastes from every faucet and the peace of mind that only a Pentair water system can give you. So call now and get your free digital Pentair water test. Save 15% on your whole home water system by calling 239-880-7799. That's 239-880-7799 or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. We all count on our home's electrical outlets to provide us the power we need when we need it. But sometimes an overloaded circuit can lead to a blown outlet. So leave it to the pros at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $77 off any repair.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
The only thing worse than hiring no law firm after your injury is hiring the wrong law firm. When thousands of people call us every year asking to help them change law firms, I wonder why they ever call the other firm. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When your celebration of life is prepaid in advance, it becomes a gift from you to your family later, because no one should have to plan for a loss while they're experiencing one. Paying in advance protects your loved ones and gives you the peace of mind you deserve. Let us help you plan every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're Hodges Funeral Home at Naples Memorial Gardens. Find us at dignitymemorial.com.
Hey, Aaron Walker here from Naples Nissan with some good news from the factory. We've just been authorized to add all brands to the list of vehicles eligible for our trade-in offer. Yep, literally all brands qualify now. So if your 9-year-old Beamer just hit 100,000 miles, don't cry. Stop paying for expensive repairs and premium gas for that old gas-guzzling luxury brand you're driving. As long as it's a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, bring it to Naples Nissan to get the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new, fuel-efficient Nissan today. Whatever your trade-in was worth when it was brand new, even if you didn't buy it new, regardless of where you bought it from, and regardless of what brand it is, that's what we'll give you for it. Get full details at naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
It's Mel's Diner for Mother's Day.
We're bringing back good times and great food. Mel's Diner.
This Sunday, Mel celebrates Mom with fabulous Mother's Day specials. How about an eye-opening classic lobster Benedict together with Mel's breakfast potatoes and fresh fruit, $15.99. Pair it with a $5.59 mimosa, and it's a Mother's Day breakfast to remember. Mother's Day lunch and dinner features a spectacular filet mignon, prepared to order together with a succulent lobster tail, served with baked potato and soup or salad, $19.99. Or how about blackened shrimp Alfredo, served with Caesar salad, just $14.99. Every mom gets a special gift, a $5 dining certificate to be used on her next visit. Reservations for 6 or more gladly taken. Mel's does the home cooking and clean up Mother's Day and every day. Happy Mother's Day from Mel's Diner.
Youthful, energetic, happy, sexual, strong, physical, no fear, taking the bull by the horns.
Old, tired, joint aches, overweight, wrinkled, depressed, sex. I remember what that was.
In men, low testosterone can lead to muscle loss, extra body fat, fatigue, depression, and erectile dysfunction. In women, hormonal imbalance can similarly cause extra fat around your middle and thighs, lack of desire, feminine dryness, and exhaustion. Suboptimal hormone levels are associated with the development of disease states like osteoporosis, heart disease, and stroke. At Neogenics, we specialize in testosterone, growth hormone promoters, bioidentical hormones, and nutritional programs designed to correct these imbalances and make you feel revitalized. See why patients from across the country are coming to Neogenics and take the first step to feeling great again. Call Neogenics for a free consultation at 277-9999 or find us online at neogenicmd.com. That's 277-9999. Neogenics, rediscover your youth.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
Traffic is slowing on the interstate. We are still at a 7-mile delay all the way between Alico and Bonita Beach Road. Don't get stuck in this. There's a crash at mile marker 120 causing all of the havoc. You have US 41 or Three Oaks, but Three Oaks is slowing down to Corkscrew. So US 41 is your best option. A crash in Lehigh Acres at Beth Stacy and 23rd is shutting down this intersection. This is near the Copperhead Golf Course. If you are heading this way, they are rerouting you, so the best thing you can do is stick to Lee Boulevard, or you have State Road 82. That's your Up to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Watch out for patchy areas of inland fog this morning before that transitions to areas of rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. The main inland threat is going to be toward Highlands, Glades, and Hendry counties, where we could see some of the storms become strong. Don't worry, though, as we head toward the weekend, drier air mixes in and our rain chances do lower. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day.
92.5 Fox News.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Water is life in Southwest Florida. It drives our economy from tourism to fishing to boating and quality of life. This is Adam Botana from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, and we talk water for an hour every weekend on Fox News Radio. We feature guests on water quality, water safety, and water fun, including great boating day trips and tips on fishing. Join us this Saturday at 7 a.m. for the Baywater Exclusive Boat Club Hour with Adam Botana on 92.5 Fox News.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-573-9552. That's 800-573-9552. 800-573-9552. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. From rent increases to increased orders to, I'm gonna say it, unprecedented times. But don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward with fast, reliable internet on the network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses and gives you the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next, and bounce forward with Comcast Business. Help your business bounce forward with this amazing offer. Get started with a powerful and reliable internet and voice solution from Comcast Business, starting at just $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and AutoPay required. Call for details.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live at drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. That's the website. We appreciate you watching. If you want to go to Facebook for the time being, at Drew Steele Radio, we're there as well. If you want to go, don't know how long that will last, but, you know. All right, top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
The president's view is that the major platforms have a responsibility related to the health and safety of all Americans to stop amplifying untrustworthy content, disinformation and misinformation, especially related to COVID-19, vaccinations, and elections. And we've seen that over the past several months. Broadly speaking, I'm not placing any blame on any individual or group. We've seen it from a number of sources. He also supports better privacy protections and a robust antitrust program. So his view is that there's more that needs to be done.
His view is that there's more to be done. Oh, it's not even enough. When Biden's press secretary, Jen Psaki, was asked about, hey, listen, what do you think about this? Facebook, the censorship of the former president of the United States. And yeah, you're not coming back on Facebook, the oversight board for right now. But Facebook should look at this in 6 more months and have some kind of clear-cut policy. You know, the kind of walking the line there. And she said, no, there's more that needs to be done. You got to go even further because we can't have any misinformation. We can't have people putting any stuff out there, especially from the former president. You know, there's a lot of that's out there. How about everybody else? How about all the other misinformation? Oh, it's all about the orange man bad. Yeah, they're still doing that.
Number 4.
My friends are leaving California. Actually, were at my hangar. The guy across right over from me, he was packing up his hangar. I said, where are you going? And he says, I'm moving to Sedona, Arizona. I can't take it here anymore. I can't walk down the streets and see the homeless.
All right. So the former Olympic champion there, who is now Caitlyn Jenner, was on with Hannity yesterday. And they talk about the possibility that a Caitlyn Jenner would run for governor in the state of California if Gavin Newsom, the whole recall thing happening and saying, listen, everybody's leaving California. They're packing up. Where are you going? Going to Arizona. Can't take it anymore. Can't walk down the streets and see the homeless. You know, and a couple of things come to mind. Number one is Caitlyn Jenner really going to run? I don't know if this is publicity. I don't know if it's serious. But then the other part is moving to Arizona, moving to Utah, moving to Montana, moving to all these. I got to get out of California. Are your politics going to?
Number 3.
Good is a wedding without dancing, Mayor, and why no dancing?
Well, I think there's a lot of good to a wedding, like people starting off their lives together and doing it in a safe way and not doing it in a way that puts themselves or their guests in danger. And let me be clear, on May 1st, we were proud of our residents and businesses who made conditions in D.C. such that we can start opening up these facilities. An alternate headline may be, now you can host a wedding in Washington, D.C., a regional meeting.
Wouldn't that be, see how the left does this? That's on CNN where being asked of D.C. Mayor Bowser, hey, listen, you're saying you can have weddings now in Washington, D.C., but you can't stand and you can't dance. You have to sit. How do you have a wedding and not have anybody dancing? And she's like, no, that's not the headline. The headline is, we're allowing you to have a wedding. Isn't that a great thing? No, avoid the other stuff. Go with my headline. See, you're missing the point. No, we're really not.
Number 2.
Job creation is soaring. The economy's growing, and our country is on the move again. But some of the parts of our economy need special help. At the top of that list is our nation's restaurants. When COVID-19 pandemic struck, our nation's restaurants were some of the first hit and the worst hit. In 2020, more than 2.3 million restaurants jobs disappeared. 2.3 million restaurant jobs disappeared.
I just can't do it. There's the president of the United States trying to figure out what's in front of him on a teleprompter or what's in his brain. I can't figure it out. I don't think he can either, trying to come up with the numbers and restaurants. And look, it's just another gaffe. Just chalk it up.
Number one.
I asked the legislature in this legislative session, we need to do bonuses for law enforcement. Someone to fund... Some wanted to fund the police. We're funding the police and then some.
And then some, funding the police. There is the governor of the great state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, doing it once again, everybody. And
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
You know, there's a couple of important aspects to this story. So the governor yesterday making the announcement, yes, $1,000 bonuses, all first responders in Florida. We're funding the police and then some. And something that is not being discussed by Democrats. It's something that they're not going to do. It's something they're not going to put forward. What are they going to put forward? Well, we're going to talk about that in just a second. And the bonuses included in the state budget. It's something that they're working on. The $208 million allocated for DEO over the 174,000 for over 174,000 first responders across the state, 49,000 sworn law enforcement officers, 40,000 EMTs, 35,000 firefighters, 33,000 paramedics. And as he said, look, it's a one-time bonus, a small token of appreciation, but we can never go far enough to express our gratitude for their selflessness. We do that. The left does not. And make no mistake that this is a shot across the bow politically at Val Demings, who is probably going to be the nominee of the Democrat Party to run against Ron DeSantis here in the state. I don't think there's any doubt about it. If she wants it, if she wants to do it, the party wants to have her because the rest of the party is a mess because there's too many things that are going on with everybody else. Charlie Crist is like, well, just tell me what you want me to read and I'll do it. What should I say? Okay. Nikki Fried is too busy trying to figure out where her next joint's coming from. So they're a little busy trying to figure it out. But the idea here is that Val Demings is going to try to make the case that as somebody who's a former police officer, somebody who's a former police chief, that she appreciates the job that they do as well. But the party wouldn't do this. She's not going to go against the party. You can't. Because everybody knows what the party stands for. Everybody knows where they are, and you can't walk that line. You just can't do it because the facts are out there. So good for the governor for doing this because it's the right thing to do. And politically speaking, listen, they know 2022 is a dangerous year as far as politically speaking where we're going to be. In this country. They're already setting it up. Stacey Abrams and you don't even have to hear Stacey Abrams' answer to this question. All you have to do is hear NPR, your tax dollars hard at work, asking Stacey Abrams the question. Listen to this. This is important. Asking a question about Georgia voting law. Of course, it's horrible. It's horrific. And people are not going to be able to vote. This is just awful.
We know, of course, that there are hundreds of new laws that would similarly restrict access that have been introduced and proposed in dozens of states across the country. What do you think the impact of those laws could be when you look ahead specifically to the midterm elections? Are you concerned that Democrats could actually lose control of the House and Senate as a result of those?
So you don't have to hear her answer. It doesn't matter. You know what her answer is. You can fill in the blanks. But you hear the question. We already know all these hundreds of voting laws are going to restrict people. Really? Tell me one. Show me one. And then explain why. Nobody does that. They don't have to because they're going to the narrative. And they're going to people that understand the narrative. But do you see the rest of it? You see how this is shaping up? Man, 2022, what's going to happen then? Do you see what they're doing? They are continuously talking about something that has already been read through. The law has been looked at in the state of Florida and in Georgia and other states. Everybody knows that it's not restrictive. Quite the contrary. It's giving up a lot of what people were concerned about with mail-in ballot drop boxes that still exist and even more voting days, more weekends. We all know this. The facts are out there. But there's enough people that will keep going to the narrative as long as they keep doing this. And you see what they're doing? They're laying the foundation. What's the foundation, everybody? Listen carefully. What's the foundation? It's that 2022 won't be fair because these states rigged the election ahead of time. They put these restrictive voting laws in place. And when Georgia it loses to Republicans and the state of Florida loses to Republicans and these other states lose to Republicans, they'll say, we've been talking about this for 18 months. We've been talking about this for months and months and months. It didn't happen because it was a fair vote. It's quite the opposite. They're setting that foundation, but we know it's lies. And we got plenty of time to put those lies out there. Some of the things that the president is saying, even in that gaffe, talking about the restaurants revitalization fund and how he's so proud of what we're doing and trying to get restaurants back up and running. And you may be a restaurant owner or somebody with a venue and you're saying to yourself, listen, I got to get up and running. I'm really concerned about what the future holds, but if there's an opportunity for me to get some relief, some coronavirus relief, I need it. So, well, not so fast. Depends on what color your skin is. I wish I wasn't being, I wish I was joking, but I'm being quite serious. The story from Breitbart. Restaurants and venue owners, Biden coronavirus relief prioritizes funds for non-white business owners. Restaurant and venues owned by white men will be the last in line for federal relief under the president's Restaurants Revitalization Fund. Did you know that? Prioritizing funds for women and minority groups first. As part of this act, the SBA opening up applications, allowing businesses to apply for relief. Lots of money there, $10 million per business, $5 million for physical location. You don't have to repay it back. Just spend the money by the March of 2023. But it's being prioritized based on race, gender, and whether or not business owners are considered, quote, socially and economically disadvantaged individuals, unquote. White men, for example, who are not veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces are not eligible for priority period processing and funding. Really? These policies are a problem. You hear this and you're outraged. The business owners hear this and they're outraged. And it's tangible to everybody. What do I mean? Understand that even though you may not hear a lot about this, the business owners are going to find out quickly how this works when they can't open up their business. And here's the other part. These businesses exist in every community across the country, every place. And if these restaurants, who happen to be white-owned, can't get the funding that they need to keep their businesses open, and they're in a situation where they can't keep it afloat, and they need this relief, they're going to close in communities in every race, every gender, across the board. Go to these places. They don't walk in and ask, can I see the owner, please? I just want to check their race, their gender. They don't do that. That means that everybody gets affected. Ultimately, you're all getting hurt by these policies that are supposed to be helpful, all in the name of equality. It's just not fair. But these policies that we see and the destructive nature of what the left is doing in this country not only can't be ignored, it won't be. Because just by the fact that these things are happening and why they're happening is going to come out tangibly to people who won't be able to go to venues and won't be able to go to restaurants and won't have those businesses open in their town. And they're going to ask why they weren't able to get the funding. You know, tomorrow we're going to get into more of this. By the way, tomorrow we are live from Oaks Farm Seed to Table in Naples at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road. I hope you'll be there for our first Friday event. We do it every Friday. They open up an hour early at 6 a.m. for us, so you can come in, grab a cup of coffee, grab breakfast. It's fantastic, and we love being there, and we love seeing you. But one of the things I'm going to kind of hit on a little more tomorrow in detail is this topic of, well, two different topics. You know, one thing that's going on here in New York County in Maine, is that an entire Dollar General store closed after the staff quits. Why did they quit? The whole staff quit because of lousy pay. They all walked out of the store. They said it's long hours, bad pay, they're out. And somebody took a snapshot of the door to show what was on the door. Now remember, they all got together, they were inside the building, they said, we're walking out. And they walked out. And I'm looking at the picture, a picture of the handwritten messages that were posted on the door itself. And I just want to read some of them to you. There's 4 of them. And ultimately, the last one that is important. Google general strike and learn how we can take our power back. To our loyal customers who treated us with respect, thank you. We love you. Hey, Jake, Google general strike. Go ahead and Google general strike, just in case you don't know what that means. Then somebody said, thank you for the sodas to somebody named Joe. And then at the top, it says closed indefinitely because Dollar General doesn't pay a living wage or treat their employees with respect. They all walked out. And then here's what it says after that. And this is the kicker. It says, capitalism will destroy this country. If you don't pay people enough to live their lives, why should they slave away for you? It's about capitalism. They all got together. Politically, somehow they agree. But now they're going to make it about capitalism, and they're walking out. Now, you're asking the obvious question, and again, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, but you're asking the obvious question. I know what you're saying right now. I know you're saying, well, why, what are you going to do? You go out and get another job. Leave. Go ahead. If you don't want to work there, then go out and find another job. That's your right. You don't think you're getting paid a living wage or you're not going to be able to make money? Go ahead. But what if it's something else? But what if the reason why a whole store filled with employees is emboldened enough to walk out is not because it's capitalism and we're making a point? It's not because they're coming together and saying we're going to make a statement. They're quitting. And some might say there's only one way that a whole store would walk out and be able to do this. And what if the one way is because the government has given enough incentive to a whole store of individuals to walk out because what they're going to give you to sit home is more than what you're making. That's the incentive. It's really something to pat your back, pat yourself on the back when you think that. And you can go to break, Jake. It's really easy to pat yourself on the back and say, "Look what we did. Capitalism stinks. It's destroying us. It's a general strike. This is what we're doing." It's another thing to know that you have a parachute, a fallback given to you by the government that's giving you more than you're making at the store. You can argue about what they're paying, but you can't argue about the fact that the government is causing the problems. And whose government is it? Well, it's our government, but it's the Biden administration and Democrats that are doing this. Period. Full stop. You know it and I know it. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you at Oaks Farm Seed to Table. Looking forward to it. Let's see what Brittany Van Voorhees has when it comes to our forecast.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Watch out for some of that patchy